Hey man, y'all sure y'all don't want to like burn one first, man?
Forever, ever.
On with you, man.
I will find him!
The Force will be with you, always.
What up? What it do? What's going on? Oh man,
What's
we in
poppin',
here.
man?
What is
Yes,
popping,
sir.
man? What's good?
We all the way
Oh
up in
man,
here.
we are culturally appropriated tonight. We got Adam in the building. What's good, man?
I'm glad to be a statistic tonight. Thank
Oh
you.
man, what's up, man? It's been way too
good.
long, brother.
No,
What's
Yes.
up?
I feel like it's been forever since I've seen your beautiful faces.
Oh
Hey.
man, it's been
Ditto.
whew, yes, too long, but
Excluding
we
the
in the
extra.
building, man.
We here.
We in the building. What's good, everybody? What's popping? How's your week been? D23, what's happening? There's a lot
Right.
of stuff going on, man.
Hey,
Oh,
I think
man.
fans shot first. Said it right. The chicken is popping.
Yes.
Man, that D23 them games, man. I don't know. They had some high highs and they had some low lows. It wasn't all good, wasn't all bad, but it was overall some news and something to come together and talk about. That's what it was. And that's why we got the movie enthusiast / apologist
That's right.
Fanjecture in the house yet again.
I'm telling you, I'm here to shill tonight. So it's a balance, right? It's a balance.
Yes.
With us.
It's got to be a balance. Got to be a balance, man. Got to be a balance. But look, man, let me. I'm gonna steal the intro real quick because I just got to get this off my chest right now. I got to go on and get this off my chest right now. I know it says the Maynes D23 reaction, but I'm full of energy and I want to get this done right now. So guess what? Guess what happened this weekend? Guess what happened this weekend, though?
Already know.
2K23 is out, bruh. The wait is over. I know. Look, FIFA. I promise you, I'm gonna call you in the morning. Look, I know you've been paid. I know you've been paging me. Don't nobody even got a pager no more. That's why you don't even get no answers back. But like, I know you looking for me, FIFA. I know 23 is around the corner, but another 23 beat you to it. 2K, man. First impressions on 2K. I'm liking this 2K, man. I'm liking this. I'm glad they made the city 30% smaller, I believe. So it makes it easier for me to get around. I'm digging that. The new jump shot mechanics is dope. I'm loving the way they're switching that up. I still ain't been in the park yet because, you know, PlayStation Network went down last night on some BS, man. I barely was able to get my face scan done this morning. Shout to big Mrs. Perp. She the one helped the brother out green screening at 7 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, it's like that, y'all. But that's all I wanted to say, man. 2K is out and it's pretty damn dope. I'm liking it. I'm liking it so far. I'll tell you what I'm not liking, though. I'm tell you what I'm not liking, though.
Tell them.
These cutscenes in this My Career, man, they is just not, you can tell they just don't care anymore. They like, you know what? People gonna buy this anyway, so we not finna worry about trying to make some riveting story. We just gonna recycle 2K14 and put a new little polish on it and put you right back out there doing the same thing. I ain't mad though. I ain't mad, y'all. I can't look. I'm not mad because you know what? It's 2K and the gameplay is solid. It's solid. All of you zigzagging mother that was out there trying to do that bullshit last year, you can't because now you got adrenaline boost. And if you run out of them boosts, then you out of luck. You can't do that no more. I'm out there now. I'm picking and popping. My jump shot is wet. Y'all ain't, you know what? They ain't even ready, man. That's all I want to say about that, though. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. Maybe we'll get some streaming going on later, but
When is the main tournament gonna be? You guys gotta do like a fan, viewer tournament.
yeah, we're gonna have to make that work. I'm gonna have to holler at Green Bear, man, see what's popping, see if we can get something shaking. Holler at some of the Maynes and see who want a slice of that action, man. Because I ain't forgot, Lavis. We still gonna face
I'm
scan
about to
your
say,
ass.
you already know.
We gonna face scan you, man.
It's gonna have to be the both. The both of us.
The both of us.
Both.
All right, so you guys gonna be on the
man.
same team then? 2 characters?
Of course.
What positions?
Oh, yeah, of
What
course.
positions you gonna play?
Oh man, I got my first build of the year is a power forward. I have a stretch power forward, so
Okay.
I'm out there getting my facilitation on, spotting up for threes,
Right.
defending and rebounding. I don't do too much too special. So,
Is Lavis a 1 or a 2?
ooh, what is your handle like, Lavis? I haven't seen you on the court in a minute, man. You got dribble.
Hey, I ain't seen me on the court in a minute, so I ain't giving no promises. Shoot, and I'll be humble and say my handle and everything right now in that game is garbage because I don't play it. But it doesn't take me long to learn.
That's what's up, man. Look, that's what makes it fun. Like I don't mind losing at the park when I'm losing and having fun.
Right.
It's when I'm by myself out there, when I'm solo, and them little 12-year-olds and YouTubers be talking mess, man. That's when it hurts. But if we out there together, we gonna make that thing pop, man. We gonna do some things out there. I think so. But I like that idea of a tournament, though.
I kind of like that. Be the main tars instead of the all.
The main tars, yes.
It's funny.
I'm with it. Only thing is, though, man, like we can't go to like you would think that we'd be on the team. So they got, for those who don't know, there's like four little online affiliated teams you can play for when you're in the city on 2K, and one of them is the Knights, and the Knights, their colors I think are like purple and orange. So you would think that would be us, man. Like we would go to the Knights, but I'm telling you now, we're not doing that. We're going Beast of the East, man. They got like literally a volcano is where they courts is at. Like it's the craziest joint in the world, bro. Like they spared no expense when it came to kind of like bossing up this 2K from last year, man. I love the my courts now. You go to the city, every one of them has its own distinct personality. And I gotta say, even though that purple's looking dope with them Knights, man, Beast from the East with that lava court, bro. I couldn't get away. Couldn't get away. Even though I was in my Jordan go-kart laughing at all the broke people who couldn't afford the $150 version. That turned out to be a ripoff by the damn way.
I bet I was waiting. That's what I was waiting to hear. That right there.
So here's the scoop. Here's the scoop, man. So they called me with they lured me in with we're gonna get you a go-kart to get around the city. Oh, snap. So it's gonna be faster for me. Cool. Oh, and we're gonna give you NBA League Pass for a year. Perfect. That makes my $150 worth it. Except NBA announced right after that they dropping the price of NBA League Pass by 50%. And I just mentioned the park shrank by 30%. So now everything is tightly compact. So trying to maneuver in a go-kart ain't really the best thing to be doing. I'm like, y'all wrong for this, man. Y'all got me again, 2K.
Hey, you know what's gonna happen. You already know what's gonna happen. They done collected your portion of the money. They got to get the rest of everybody else to get in on that 150 and less. And when they get the money, then you'll get an update in like 4 months. And they're gonna expand everything, and then you'll be able to drive and all that type of stuff. And you're gonna be like, okay. And that'll be the stretch. That's gonna be the stretch that'll get you to the next. What is it? 2K24 is the next $150.
Nah, what they gonna do is they gonna wait till they little season 2 come around. They're gonna make everybody's build irrelevant and make you have to dump more VC into a whole nother character. Because now the one that you just spent the last 3 months grinding can't shoot worth. I already know what's coming 2K, man. Like
that's that 2K tax.
And I'm here for it. Every year. I'm here for it.
Gotta fix the roads.
FIFA on the sideline, FIFA on the sideline, like this could be us, but you tripping. I'm just like, well.
That's true. You're putting down a good game.
Yeah.
Hey man, like FIFA is dope, man, but like they going away. Like FIFA's done after 23. They lost the license. EA got like dumped by FIFA. So
you know, wild.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's EA though. Do you really expect
for
somebody to get tired of EA's bull?
No, and we might talk about EA later if you guys bring it up. But
That's what's
Oh,
up.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll
it's gonna get
definitely
brought
make some
up.
time to carve that out. But yeah, man, just in closing, I mean, I still haven't gotten a lot of time into the game, but definitely loving the upgrades. I feel like it's worth it. If you got a 5 or you got the Xbox, definitely pick up the next gen version, because from what I'm hearing about that current gen, it ain't it. It ain't it. PS5's where it's at, man. So 2K23, man. Maybe I'll stream a little bit of that later tonight. Let people watch me on my first game at the park. See if I actually can get a dub. I don't know, man, but we got to get you face scanned, bro. I know that. I know that.
Yeah, you know it's gonna happen. You know that's gonna happen.
That's what's
man.
up.
Shoot, we
That's
gonna
what's
get it.
up.
But in the meantime,
In
look at
between
some
time,
of this D23 and just some general news, man. Because I know
yes,
for a lot of you guys, it's been a while since we've been live.
right. So for
So
those that don't know, let me just let them know real quick. If
tell
you're
'em.
wondering why you ain't seen us, it's because you ain't part of the Patreon, man. If you come over and subscribe to the Patreon, and when we do these lives, you get to catch them live instead of catching the replays on YouTube. I mean, the replays is dope, but don't you want all of this live energy? Don't you
Facts.
want to come in here and hear it first? Get on the Patreon, man. That's all you got to do. Just a couple dollars a month. It'll get you in
Right.
the building. That's all it is, man. Something in the collection plate. Help us out.
It's a different
You
kind
know.
of live. You only got the $5
Mm.
and you got the $8. Get the purple drink and sauce
Mhm.
tier. And
Yes.
just so I can put this out there, because I know we've been doing the videos and I've been lacking, and I admit that because I'm dealing with moving right now. So a lot of my
That part.
construction is about to change too. No more Mainland Falcon, man. They said, son, you got to go. So I'm in the
Hey,
middle of
man, why
moving
don't you
all
just
that.
tell the people the truth? Why don't you just tell them the truth, man? These are our people. Let's keep it a buck. The truth is,
Go
we
ahead.
should have been and gave that Falcon back, man, but we just been hiding it from house to house until they finally found it. And they finally caught up with you, man. They finally caught up with you.
All right,
Tell the people
And
the
the deal
truth, man.
is, all right. So the deal is, I got to give the Falcon back, and then I get to be free.
There you go.
Otherwise, won't be no more main authority. And if it is main authority, at least we got to change the logo, and like one of us is gonna have to be in bars, like Monopoly. Just we have to figure that out. So I was like, nah, we just give
Not
it back.
the bars,
But they gave me some things. They said I could keep. And when I get back and get stable again, we're gonna start giving out some pops that you can't see because my lighting sucks where I am right now in the Falcon. And I didn't hit a light, and yeah, it's a whole story. But anyway, we're gonna give away a bunch of pops. I got like this and like a few more. So come by that Patreon, man, because you don't want to miss out.
You don't want to miss out. Yes, you certainly don't want to miss out.
And it's
I'm gonna
cheaper
tell
than
you,
season 2 of 2K. So
way
do it.
cheaper.
hey man,
Free.
look, man. No, we finished 2K. I did that early to get that out the way. We ain't got to
shit.
talk about it no more.
Oh, sorry.
Let's just leave it in the past, because truth be told, that's what's on my monitor that I'm looking at right now, and I'm trying not to grab this controller and start playing it. So look, don't play with me right now. Oh man, but look, let's get into this D23 though, man. Let's get all the way into it, man.
Let's
Because
get into the D23, and first let's
got
get these
some
out the
stuff.
way. Yes, let's get these out the way. We got some DC news,
Oh,
and in
man.
general, apparently Harley Quinn has been renewed for a season 4. And real quick on that, it's not a bad show, but I'm a little worried with what I see now on the show. And it's like, it's still funny. It still has its quirks, but it's starting to get in the part of a series when it's like, okay, what do we do to keep this going? And then it's like, okay, do we keep leaning on some of the crazy things we've done? Because now like Joker's like domesticated. He's still kind of crazy, but he's got like a family, and it's like, that's weird. And then, you got the Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy aspect of what's going on between them. And of course, they're the main characters making other stuff happen. And then resurrected Batman's parents and all types of crap. Like, it's crazy. And that's cool. But it's like, the question of what do we do next is what worries me. And I'll have to wait to see how they end this one, because it's starting to get a little too cheesy in certain aspects. It's like they have to reel you in, and it takes about a few minutes, to where before season 1 and 2, like off top, you was in it, So
yeah,
it's a good renew, but we'll see how that goes. We already know that Zaslav, WBD, they all got their little money problems, And the way to solve that is by canceling DC Fandom. Now,
Yeah.
question is, does that matter? Do you feel like you're missing anything because they canceled DC Fandom? How do you feel about that, Freddie Roy?
How you gonna miss what you never had? Where's the good DC content at? I'm not missing anything because you ain't had good content in like 2-3 years. It's been like hit or miss. Suicide Squad, the second one that they did, wasn't terrible, but come on. I mean, Peacemaker's dope, but do you need a fandom to talk about Peacemaker and where you going with that in the future? I don't think so. We ain't even gonna get started on Matt Reeves, the Batman. I know a lot of y'all out there are in love with it and can't wait to see the sequel. Miss me with Bat Cullen again.
Yeah, we can't do that tonight.
Nah. We ain't doing Bat Cullen tonight. No. So no, I mean, it's like saying that D23 got canceled is like saying, I don't know.
It's like saying the temperature tomorrow in Texas is going to be the same as it was today.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? It's like you wake up and you go, oh, surprise, the Cowboys still suck. Ain't no surprise. You knew this it's been that way for 30 years. Why we lying? Why we playing games with each other? Because it's football season and I got to make sure people know I'm a Cowboys fan. But you know what? I'm going to let y'all know now. Don't get your hopes up.
Don't abuse
Don't
yourself.
Don't get your hopes up.
This. Don't do yourself like this, homie.
No. Learn. Take them Cowboys lessons and apply it to DC, man, because that's all you're getting, man. What about you, Adam? Are you glass half full on this? Do you feel any kind of optimism about them canceling this fandom or anything?
No, it's the right move because you said they got nothing to do. Although here's the thing, I'm still a little butthurt over the first DC fandom because it had such great potential and there was a lot of good stuff in that first one. Mm-hmm. But the original concept was 24 hours of nonstop. And then, and you guys know, because I was supposed to do like a 24-hour stream of it. Mm-hmm. Literally at like 2 days before, they decided to shrink it down to 8 hours and just replay that like 3 times. And so I was like super butthurt. And there was a lot of things that they were going to show that they just cut and like weren't doing that. So look, the concept of fandom is good. What they showed us and the graphics and the stage work and all that stuff was cool. Like nobody had done that yet.
Right.
But it's just, I think it was a one-hit wonder that we just don't need anymore.
Facts.
Yeah,
totally
no
agree.
doubt. Yes, 1,000%. I don't think we're really missing much when it comes to fandom. DC's got bigger things to worry about. Like before you start thinking about a fandom, let me get 3 solid projects from you first. Let me get that first.
Let's see what happens with the Flash. I mean, you're going to do a fandom and not talk about the Flash. I mean, that's going to be the headline. So like
that part,
you can't until that movie comes out. Like there's going to be a moratorium on discussing almost anything DC from them.
Facts.
Yes.
Facts.
Yes.
Facts.
They have definitely dug themselves into a hole, and I cannot blame Discovery.
Get that right. Extra Miller dug that hole.
Well, I'm not even just talking about just the movie. I'm talking about the company as a whole.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm not blaming Discovery or Zaslav or anything. If anything, I have to blame, like you said before in one of our previous shows, all the previous proprietors, all the people who have owned them in the past. They just have not had good management. I do see potential, and I think a lot of these moves are just going to be risky ones that you have to take if you want to make some money, man. You can't make money without taking some risk. And they tried to take a risk on getting Dan Lin as their new Feige, but he said, no, good. I do not want that job. So
somebody got to him. Somebody got to that man. Because at first it was all kind of optimism and he was in talks about it and everything else. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and it's like, he has withdrawn from consideration. You know what I mean? Somebody got to him and was like, you don't want this.
You know what? Something happened because I listened to an interview he did a couple years back where he was talking about his biggest regret when he used to work at Warner's. And his biggest regret was not being able to finish the George Miller Justice League movie that they were doing and just playing in the DC world. And this seemed like a guy who was like, who wanted to do it, who wanted to be that guy. And I don't know. I was shocked. I was more shocked that he said no than hearing his name be in consideration.
I'm pretty sure because that conversation when it was like, hey, well, he probably said everything you just said. You know, will I be able to play in the DC world? Blah, 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 blah. It was like, maybe in a few years. You know, when we, get all the money, we get things going, we see how you handle the job, maybe like 4 to 5 years. We'll see what we can do with that. He was like, yeah, that's too far. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, see, you have a slightly more optimistic look at it. I think it's way more than that. I think when he started taking a real good peek behind the curtain, he saw all kind of dysfunction. It was just I think it's a literal show going on at DC right now, and it's just like
probably
dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria, like the whole nine, bro. They just wilding out.
Okay,
they're just wilding out over there.
That's true, but wouldn't you want to be the guy to turn it around? Like your legacy and reputation, if you were the person to turn it around, you'd be on Mount Rushmore of executives.
You know who you sound like right now? You sound like Jerry Jones pitching every coach he didn't hire for the last 30 years. Don't you want to be a part of something special? You want to bring back no, because it's not going to happen. You know why? Because there's too many cooks in the kitchen over there at DC. Too many people trying to be Feige that ain't got Feige kind of credentials. So he probably looked at it and said, you know what? No, this ain't for me.
Yeah,
man.
but
like every other coach worth a damn for the cow.
I know. I mean, I totally agree with you. I don't disagree with anything you said. It just sucks because I think he is like Feige. I'm not saying he's like visionary like Feige, but he has the pedigree like Feige in working in the system. Yeah. And working on these kind of properties. So kind of sucks.
I mean,
I think
when they
lost.
talked about
it,
it,
an L.
No, it's definitely an L. They took a serious L, but that's again, I hate to equate it, but it's like DC is like the Cowboys, man. It's like that's what it stands for. Come on, DC. Dallas Cowboys, bro. Like,
I never thought about that.
I'm just saying,
brilliant.
man.
That's
There's some kind of relation there because they on the same trajectory right now. It's insane. Like you want to be optimistic. It's like you see Flash. It's just like, oh, we got Black Adam. Oh, we got Diggs. Yeah, well, except he can't. If he misses his, it's not gonna work. Like if Black Adam don't turn into a smash, like if this is not like the best DC movie in the last 5 years, they're dead in the water because you can't put anything more, like as much as people like the Matt Reeves Batman, I just don't see that being able to carry the torch for the next 5 years for DC. The Flash movie, I think they just want to get out of that with as little damage as possible, like looking as clean as they possibly can, and then somehow Extra Miller is going to be on his way out. Like they just want to amicably get to the end and get this movie released. And then they just want to, I think they're just going to do another whole like wiping the slate clean because what else can they do?
I hope so.
That would be the best thing.
Yeah. I mean, that would be the smarter thing to do. And like, we'll have to wait and see how Flashpoint is, but we do have Black Adam. He had a new trailer and I mean, it doesn't look bad. It has some good images on there of the main villain, Sabak. But it's like, will Black Adam be able to be that movie that at least sparks optimism? That's at least what they need right now. There's no way that Black Adam's going to be able to carry DC to a point where everybody's like, okay, well, I can believe in them again. But do you guys think,
not all that?
Yeah, but do you guys think that it'll be at least enough to be like, okay? I mean, it doesn't look bad. The graphics and all that stuff look good. Like it looks pretty damn good, to be honest. What do you think?
That trailer was awesome. Now this movie's gonna be stupid, like real stupid. I feel like there's no plot to this movie. They've literally hid the plot, so it's gonna be pretty dumb. But dumb movies can still be fun, entertaining. That's cool. The thing that's to answer your question though, no, I don't think it's a spark because have you guys seen like in the last like month or two, the world has turned on The Rock? Apparently, like it was like a slow burn. But like people hate The Rock now for some reason. I mean, I'm sure there's reasons, but that I don't know. But there's a growing like people are over The Rock, and I think that's gonna hurt.
Well, to that I say, it's about damn time. I said this How long ago when we were talking about this? I was like, name me.
It was a while ago, yeah.
I was like, The Rock can't act. Like, let's just be real. Like, this dude cannot. Name me a movie where he had this stellar acting performance outside of Be Cool. We went there. We talked about this, and I think the world is catching up, and they realizing this dude's a one-trick pony, man. Like, all he got is the eyebrow and these muscle movies. That's it. That's not enough. People get bored.
It's just still be enough for an entertaining movie. I mean, Arnold and Sly did it for years.
Well,
for decades.
I agree. And again, they'll like when the movie comes out, people will like him again for the little bit that the movie is like got a little buzz. But beyond that, it's not like that's the thing is like people like those movies when it's like, oh, they're doing another Expendables. Okay, cool. We get to see Sly and blah, blah, blah. But then like 3 weeks later, no one cares. And that's where Rock is. Rock is basically a bossed up Vin Diesel at this point. It's like, hey, it's cool. It's muscles. He's like, we get to go see action. Yeah, until he starts talking and you're like, okay, yep, that's it. Let's keep it moving. That's where Rock is to me right now. Like and again, that's not to say that I think Black Adam's going to be a terrible movie. I think it's going to be a good movie. I really do. I don't think there's going to be any type of like depth to it. I think it's just going to be like your standard fare type superhero or anti-hero movie or whatever. But I think this is going to be a role where he knows what's riding on it. So he's going to make sure that Kavai, should that have been a pause? Let me know in the chat. But yeah, he's gonna make sure it's entertaining because it's like it's on him for this movie to be good. So it's like if it's not, especially with the climate being what it is right now, like if he doesn't carry this movie, bro, like then he's done.
Yeah, he doesn't have to carry it, but I mean, it doesn't.
He's got to carry it.
Like even what they did with Sabak, like it's pretty on the nose. The graphics don't look bad, and it looks better than some of the stuff that, at least on the Disney Plus shows, have looked. So I will say it's at least movie quality. We'll have to see
those slugs.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and I don't expect too much from the Disney Plus shows because we know the budget on those. You know what I'm saying? So they got to fit the budget, and they're kind of rushing the special effects. So it is what it is. But Black Adam has been in production for like 10 years. So they had better have gotten the graphics on this looking pretty decent. And it don't look too bad.
No.
So, I feel like they have a chance. I don't know if it'll be enough of a spark. Perhaps it'll be something that could be put in place for them to be able to start dropping good quality movies. And as they spark, maybe something will catch. And they'll get a fire going. Hopefully,
it's hard, man. It's so hard because even if this movie is stellar, we still have the Flash coming out, which is going to derail everything.
Right. Everything, right? Everything.
Unless by some miracle that movie is actually better than good. Like that movie actually is. If we come out of Flash going, damn, that movie totally overperformed. Like if we come out of that, I could see a scenario where DC would have a path. I'm not saying that they would come back, but they'd at least have a path forward at that point because you'd have something to kind of like tether the rest of your stuff to. Again, you don't need to make it a multiverse and try to catch up with Marvel. That's not what I'm saying. But like if the Flashpoint, if Black Adam comes out and Black Adam is good, and then you turn around and Flashpoint comes out and Flashpoint is dope too, then like you actually can say we're slowly starting to change the momentum. But you'd have to have a plan after that. And maybe that's why Lynn dipped, is he was like, oh, so y'all don't really even know what you want to do after Flash drops. Like you have no clue and you haven't got on the same page about anything yet.
Right.
Can't do that. So I mean that's and that's the thing that I feel like is always going to be DC's Achilles heel until they address that, is having a plan and sticking to that plan, not knee-jerking because one movie you expected not to perform well actually does. Like that shouldn't totally pivot. Like, yeah, you might go, okay, well, maybe we need to put a little bit more into this IP. Cool. But you can't turn around and go, all right, everybody, we shifting everything and putting all the chips into this basket. It's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work.
Most definitely. Well, they do have some other chips to drop, and apparently it seems like they're going to be shooting outside of the States for this one. As we already know, they've been making a Blue Beetle movie. They wrapped not too long ago. But what's interesting about it is this here. The fact that they want to it is going to be a very, very, very personal Latinx hero, and they get to have it in Spanish. They're going to do it all totally in Spanish, and it's going to be subtitled. So they're going to try to keep it in the complete vein of this is a Latinx hero. They have Mexican and or Mexican American actors, so why not go all the way with it? Now, the question is, do you feel like the fact that they are trying to or wanting to do this with this movie, like, are they trying to pander to a crowd, or is it something like maybe they didn't consider, hey, maybe we could just release this in all languages? Like, does it have to be made in Spanish for it to mean something? Are they trying to draw that out with this movie? What do you guys think about that? What do you think, Freddie? What's your thoughts?
I'm going to say, hell yeah, they doubling down on it, man. Like, come on, what era do we live in right now? This is totally on brand for where society is right now, and I'm totally here for it. I have no problem with it because, again, we talking about one movie. One movie. It's the Blue Beetle. Who cares? Like, if you don't want to go see the movie and sit through subtitles, then don't go watch it. But are they reaching? Hell yeah, they reaching. But like, who isn't in 2022?
Right.
Like, who isn't? Like, this screams, boardroom exec sitting down, putting their heads together, trying to figure out, okay, what market has not been tapped yet, and how can we maximize our opportunity? I don't see a problem with that. I think what we as consumers have to do now, because this sounds to me a lot like some of the flack that like I've been hearing about She-Hulk. We just need to accept that these kind of decisions are going to be hand in hand with the creative decisions being made with these IPs, like going forward. It's going to be that until we get to a point where this idea of inclusion is not out of the ordinary, but rather the norm. Once we get to that point, then I think everybody can take a deep breath, chill, and be like, okay, I know I'm going to see diversity and there's going to be, a plethora of different types and styles of projects out there for whatever genre you like to watch. And it's no different. Like, the comic book stuff is kind of where you see a lot of attention being drawn now, but I don't really think it's as big of a deal as people make it. We just have to kind of like accept that this is going to be the norm going forward.
I think we've gotten to the point now where, and it has been for a little while, that the comic book movies is legitimately a genre now, because we're now getting so many things within comic book movies. It's no longer just good guy v bad guy. They're getting, to varying degrees of success, of course, more complex, more, in-depth types of movies, and they're trying new things, and they're reaching, and they're doing whatever. So I think that's the takeaway. I'm also curious what Susan Sarandon actually means by it's all in Spanish, because look, nothing against anybody, but who knows what she actually knows or what she means. Like, I'm curious. Is it 100%? I doubt it. Is it like 75%? I'm just curious on what's going to be. I'm actually looking forward to this movie because is it Xolo? I'm so horrible in pronouncing his name. The guy from Cobra Kai. So like,
don't get me to lie. I'm bad with names too. Shoot.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to see what he brings.
Yeah, I think it'll be a cool movie.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think it looked good. Movie. Yeah, most definitely. It totally looked good. The costume looked good.
Yeah, the costume.
The sets look good. Like, it looks legit. And I'm thinking maybe when she says that it'll be in Spanish, like perhaps they are speaking Spanish for the majority of the movie. I'm pretty sure they're probably, if she's in it, it's got to be some English. Like, I mean, it's not to say she doesn't know Spanish, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you can't help but throw some English in there when you're speaking to an American in one of these. Like, you have like.
Well, but wait a minute. What if
inscribed?
Wouldn't it be hilarious though if she wasn't speaking English? and they did her like the old Japanese subtitles, and it's like she's speaking English, but they got like somebody doing Spanish voiceover for Susan Sarandon, bro. Like, I mean, like,
At least for
I'm
the first 15 seconds of her being on screen, just to show how broke
oh
DC is
man,
nowadays.
Be like we doubling down so hard. When we said all Spanish, we meant all Spanish.
Couldn't even afford to put English in this movie at all.
Like, yeah, man. Like,
but
oh, I just
no,
find it so funny when people get bent for stuff like this because it regardless of where you sit, like I'm not even talking about from like a liberal or conservative standpoint, but just seeing how people like rage out over stuff like this. It's just funny to me, man. Like I said, you see it with She-Hulk, you see it with this, and I'm like, are you really that emotional? Like, is it really triggering you that much? Like, are you really this upset? Like, as much stuff that you could be having going on in your life, this is the one thing that like you just had to come to social and protest and let people know how you felt. I guess, like, if that's
some
it,
people.
I want some people indeed, man.
Definitely like that for some people. But I mean, at the same point, I don't think it's a bad idea that they're going to do it in Spanish. I've been peeping out some of the comments in here that I agree with, and you know, Maverick, he was saying, you know, they don't need to have any kind of borders in their movies. Like right now, it needs to be fair game. Anything that y'all can help catch, y'all need to push that out there. WB,
Yeah,
like
that's
period.
a good point.
But
Now, I want to ask, not to cut you off, but that's a good
uh,
point. And I want to ask Adam this question. Do you think that right now is the right time for DC to do a movie that's specifically targeted, considering where they are? Like, do you think that like maybe they
Yes.
you think
Because
so?
if you're gonna do it and it bombs, it doesn't matter because
yes,
it's
I
all
feel
getting
you.
wiped out anyway. And if it's
feel
a
you.
success, you take the W.
There,
So
I got
yeah,
you.
it's a win-win.
Win-win-win. Yep.
right.
Back.
So he was saying that Spanish subtitles will be an added barrier and that DC needs no barriers. But still, in the same point, I still agree that they don't need any barriers right now. But at the same time, even if they are trying to double down and target the Latinx community, it's not a bad area to start considering the air and space that we are in nowadays. So
Let me ask you guys. I didn't see it. I haven't watched yet. I'm sure it's a sin that I haven't. But like Narcos and all that stuff, right? Isn't that a lot of that subtitled, or am I mistaken on that?
Ooh, I had to lean on my narco experts for this one because I don't know.
ditto.
Okay.
Have
Because
not
I
watched.
feel like there's content out there that is really, I mean,
Yeah, of
look,
course.
the world I'm sorry, the world loved
There you go.
Squid Game, right?
Facts.
The world loved Squid Game. And we all,
Yeah, they
well,
did.
most of us watched it in subtitled and it didn't hurt a thing. So obviously, if you want to watch content, you will watch it, whether they're speaking English or you're reading English. So
True,
I don't
true.
buy it. Now, if people don't want to go see this because they aren't interested in the movie, that's a different conversation. But don't tell me after Squid Game that people around the world, especially in America, are not watching subtitles.
Right.
Hey, man.
Yeah, they definitely. Gotta learn to read.
They're watching them. They're just watching them in secret, and then going online and
Yeah.
acting like they can't stand it.
Right.
That's what makes me so like that makes me laugh with people, man. I just don't understand. I'm like, this is what you choose to do with your free time, huh? I guess.
Pretty much.
Mhm.
But
You like it, I
lastly
love
on
it.
this, I agree with Nerd Executive as well that no one cared about this movie to begin with. Not a lot of people even know who Blue Beetle is. They barely knew that the movie was even being made. And I still think a lot of people don't know about this movie.
Hey.
Not until they start doing the marketing, which they can't afford to do until after Flash. So
That that's so sad.
it is, if you think about it in retrospect, that's probably why nobody knows about this movie except for either diehard Blue Beetle fans or DC enthusiasts. Because I have to call them that because you got to be real enthusiastic to be supporting DC right now. Just saying.
Now, I want to prove a point from a previous show right here. I want to take this opportunity, Lavis, to very, very, very succinctly state a point. Question 1: do you think that in the WB Discovery DC whatever did Discovery get ownership of the frog?
Of the actual frog, like we
Of the
that up.
WB frog. Do they have access to utilize the WB frog if they want
It depends. So apparently when they throw things in the vault, it typically stays in there. So I would say
to?
yes,
Okay.
of course they have access, but it's in the vault, so they probably
All
will
right.
not bring that out anytime soon.
Okay. Well, let's just hypothetically say they did. For the specific purpose of promoting Blue Beetle. And they put a sombrero on the frog. Would you not have a problem with that? Would that not be messed up?
Okay, to your
to have
point,
him come out and come out here with a mariachi band singing about
I think
Bienvenidos a Patrons con el WB. Come on, bro. Like, that's racist, bro. That's racist. That's racist.
you had to go all out
just
with the
saying.
song.
Yes. Yes, because I had to demonstrate the point. It's racist, bro. Like, I don't care how
I
you
was
look at
gonna
it.
say, to your point, if they probably wouldn't use the frog, but it probably would be that same way if they chose any other kind of mascot to do that
Yes.
with. So yeah,
Even if it was a beetle, it's
I
still
don't even-
racist. I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring the frog back up, but like I had to stress that point, bro. I don't care how you slice it.
Oh, jeez.
That frog. That's all I'm saying. Proceed, sir.
You see what you guys have been missing? You've been ranting about
Yes.
this damn frog for the past
Oh man,
3
we've
weeks.
just
And mind you, we still go on every other week.
oh,
Okay, so 3 shows.
oh man. Look,
And
see,
you
look.
get to take a week off and still.
Man.
It's that frog. Hey, it's all right.
Exactly.
I'm gonna turn him purple. We're gonna call him something else. We're gonna use him on here. Watch.
Oh,
It's
Toad
the main
Mane.
authority.
What
I
was
got
it?
that purple.
Oh no, you know what we said was
Oh,
last week.
jeez.
Welcome back, Vengers. That's the main authority.
That's what. That's exactly what we said.
Oh, didn't they have like? Wasn't he like skipping with a top hat and like a little
Yeah.
a little
Like a
cane?
cane.
It was like
Yeah.
outside their studios. So like
Mhm.
we'd have to have him with outside the tower, right? Like he'd have to be skipping around outside the tower, bro. Like, as long as we don't show the logo, we can't get copyrighted. We be
No,
all
man,
right.
you just got to use that AI software. Just make your own frog with a top hat.
Hey,
There you go.
I've been looking at that. I'm gonna
Oh,
download
man.
that and
Hey,
mess
look.
around with that.
Ah.
But anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
We got some Andor news, man. They dropped the trailer. We get to see a little bit of what's going down on that. And let's go ahead and drop this up here from Discussing Film because they are close to doing season 2 already.
Hey,
The Andor must
that's
be
cool.
fire. What do you think, man?
We gonna see,
Andor?
man. I'm still not very excited for Andor, man. Like I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna watch it because that'd be a lie. But I'm just not. They're going to really have to flesh out this story and how it connects to the future for me because this is going to be a slow moving show. I think this is going to be more of a political thriller type show. It's going to be very different from what Star Wars fans are used to. I don't think that's a bad thing at all because I feel like, to Adam's point where he was saying like comic book movies have become its own genre, I feel like Star Wars is trying to do that same thing in terms of the different types of content they're putting out for Star Wars. And so I'm not mad at Andor, but I'm just like, ooh, we'll have to see how this one like hits. Cause I don't know, man. It's just something about this show to me just feels unnecessary. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They said this is gonna be a 24 episode spy thriller. So you're not too far off with what you're thinking so far. But I mean, you the resident Star Wars shill here for us. So
Facts.
for me, what you say goes on that one. But I mean, it looks interesting enough to pay attention
it definitely
to. I'm
does.
just hoping it doesn't turn into an adult reason why we didn't watch Bad Batch. You know what I'm saying? Like Bad Batch was for kids. So if you didn't like it, it's whatever. But this is, I would say, be more poised towards us adults. And if we don't like it, then what's the excuse?
I will say
Yeah.
that I'm excited to see a show that like films somewhere other than the volume, like that.
Right.
I can't wait for us to finally get back to like doing stuff on location in terms of even on the small screen. Like that is going to be the most significant thing for me in terms of seeing how this show hits. And I hope that if it does get, well received, that they kind of adapt that to the rest of the like Star Wars shows and movies, because the volume is starting to actually show like its size in a lot of content, like especially in Obi-Wan and Kenobi. It was obvious in some of those shots that they were filming on the volume, and it just takes you out of the moment in certain scenes. And so I really hope that they start to like, this is kind of the kick in the butt they need to kind of get away from that with the rest of these shows.
Mm-hmm. I love Rogue One. I think it's a great movie.
Oh yeah.
So you would think I'd be like all gung ho for Andor, and I am, but I'm also curious, like the story, like you're talking about. Like we know the ending already, so but I'm just hoping for some good. If they're calling it a spy thriller, give me a good spy story. Okay, give me some stakes. Make me think. Well, I was gonna say make me think he could die, but we know he does. That's what's tough with the prequel.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Tough with the prequel.
See, and you could do that with the prequel trilogy, right? Because there was so much story to tell. Like, yeah, we knew what was going to happen, but there was so much story to tell there that it didn't make a difference that we knew ultimately what the end result was going to be. I just don't see how you pull that off with Andor. And to me, this screams like the same mistake the DC made. I'm not DC. Star Wars made when they did the sequels. Was, oh, we know the formula for Star Wars. Oh, this is the trope, or this is the story element, or the way that it's like, no, you can't just translate it and think it's going to work. You've actually got to think about it and figure out how that's going to weave into the story that's already been established. And so, hopefully they've done that with Andor. I'm optimistic that they have. I just don't know how interesting this show is going to be to me. I just don't.
I've liked everything they've given us though. So I can't,
Yes.
that's the thing. Like, I don't know why I'm not wholehearted feeling it, because I've literally liked everything they've shown us.
Well, yeah, that and the fact that like I feel like the Mandalorian season 3 trailer like blew anything I've seen from Andor out the water. Like
yeah, I think you're right. I think they're treating this as like a big 24 arc story, 24 episode story. So actually, and they went into this in mind having 2 seasons, and they already knew K2SO was not going to be in the first season. They knew it was going to come in the second season. So they had an overarching story for the whole thing. And that, if nothing else, they went in with a plan. So, kudos to them for doing what we asked them to do, going in with a plan. Don't do like 6 episodes and be like, I don't know where this is going, but we have to fill, 18 more. So let's keep going. I like that they have a plan for this.
Yeah, it seems like they got something going. So it can't be too bad. Something new, something different. Maybe that's probably why they're trying to keep it close to the chest to keep interest so people can come in and check it out. They got some characters in here. They say you're going to have to learn to love, to hate. And, there's got some on and off relationships. They're shooting for about 24 episodes. There's a lot to cover, a lot of ground to cover within that 24 episodes. So, I mean, it's possible they could go in many different directions with the prequel. And that's kind of the good thing about a prequel, You could do many different things, and you have a character that you already know is in ways established, and you can make almost anything happen. So it's possible. We get to see that here very soon. I believe it comes out September 26th, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah, and it's dropping 3 episodes, I think.
Yeah, 3 episodes are going to be dropping. And so just going to have to sit and wait. I got 4 more days to get out the Falcon. We will find out about this show.
Indeed, we will.
What you thinking, man?
I'm thinking I don't know exactly what I was thinking in that moment, because I was looking at I got distracted by the Ezra Miller news, and I wanted to talk about both, and I lost my thought right in that moment.
There was some more Ezra Miller. I can't even say
not Bridger. Bridger.
Ezra Bridger. Yes,
the
yes, the
casting news
casting.
for yes,
Yes.
yes.
And
Because
I thought that was
saw it.
spot on.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Number one, Iman Esfandi. I hope I'm saying his name right. Like, I couldn't find a more perfect casting for Ezra. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That they found somebody that looks that much like that character. It's almost like Ezra Bridger was based off of Iman Esfandi when you look at both of them. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
But
man.
I'm glad we got a confirmation on that. What distracted me though was the fact that I was looking, and apparently Minna Masood, who was originally was rumored, is a little salty at the fact that he didn't get cast.
I'm
Said
sure
he never really had a legitimate shot anyway. So he sent in one tape, but never really heard anything from it. So he said, dude looks like him, and he hopes it's done justice. But
I think
he's not too happy, man.
And I seen like when he was putting himself out there that he had auditioned and everything, and I think he probably fits if they try to do an older version. And I'm not saying that he is older. I think it was just like I think he put something out and he had like the facial hair, and automatically facial hair automatically makes you look older than you actually are. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You could be 16 with a full beard. You're gonna look like you 28. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that might have been something that may have worked against him if he had went there to the audition for that. That could be a very good reason why they didn't go with that, because I mean, but this guy,
there's also something else that could be why they didn't go with him. He wasn't that good in Aladdin.
Oh, well, then there you go. I haven't seen it, so
I mean, he was fine.
Fair enough.
You know, like maybe they really wanted. I don't know. Maybe his tape wasn't that good. Who knows?
Yeah, that's
we weren't
it.
there.
I mean, true story. And that's the thing too, is like you got to bring it with this character, because there's going to be a lot riding on like Ezra and Sabine from the hardcore Star Wars fan community. Like, those are going to be, I'm not going to say they are going to be as pivotal as Ahsoka was in terms of her transition to live action, but pretty damn close, because Rebels has a following now. Like, I know that show got a lot of flack when it first dropped, but people are starting to really appreciate Rebels for what it was. And now the idea of these characters being brought to live action, you have to nail it, not just from the aesthetics, but these actors and actresses that'll be playing these roles are going to have to kill it. And so, maybe the homie just wasn't like, his tape wasn't strong enough. Maybe they just felt like it was something about this guy that was, more better suited from an emotional delivery standpoint. Who knows? But
yeah,
I mean, these things happen, and it's not a shock that he's upset. I ain't saying he shouldn't be. I mean, I'd be disappointed too if I, really wanted the role and didn't get it. But it's either way, as long as Ezra is faithfully represented in live action, I'm here for it. That's all I want, man. Just make it dope.
Yeah. And you know what though? Maybe they looked at him, they're like, this guy looks better next to Rosario Dawson than the other guy. Because they take that into consideration too.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely matters.
That could totally be it too, man. But moving on, we got some Bad Batch news. And apparently they're gonna have a season 2. Gonna have 16 episodes with a 2-episode premiere coming out January 14th. Now
that's not too far. I mean, that makes sense. January, yeah, I can see that, because
a lot of things got pushed apparently.
Yeah,
when they adjusted for Andor getting put in there. So it's one of the pushes. So gonna have that, and then we got the trailer for Tales of the Jedi, which I won't lie, didn't look too bad to me.
Oh no, like these, I love when they do these kind of little stories, because this is what, if you're gonna fill in gaps with story that we already know, this is the way to do it, in my opinion, is with these little one-off like shorts, because this gets you up to speed. This lets you know, oh, here's a pivotal moment where this happened, or here's a conversation that I didn't know about, or we didn't know about until now. I think where, and it's easy to digest. It helps to like fill in the gaps, and then you just keep it moving. So I'm super pumped about seeing these. I hate that all 6 of them are dropping on the 26th, because they'll come, you watch them. Well, pause. They will drop. You'll watch them. You will watch them, and then it's gonna be over and done with. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a fan of like week to week episodic drops. Like, I think I have kind of leaned more towards that side now, especially with like the way they're doing these Marvel and Disney shows. The whole idea of like dropping all of the episodes at once for me and then binge watching, I just don't have time. Like I noticed all of the shows that drop all at once, I have not watched. I haven't watched like what is it? Umbrella Academy. I haven't watched not Narcos, but Ozark. Haven't seen Ozark, haven't seen Cobra Kai, haven't seen The Boys, but I am on top of everything else that comes out week to week because that gives me time to breathe.
Right.
So yeah, man. I mean, I'm with it, but it's gonna be cool, man. I think Tales of the Jedi will be dope. I'm excited to see the stories, especially with the young Dooku and the voice acting and everything. It looks good, it sounds good. So and I can't. I'm a Star Wars fan, so of course I want to see it. And I saw that little Yaddle Easter egg or little clip. I was like, hey, we get to see her fighting now. Interesting.
Yeah. And I thought it looked pretty interesting. And I don't mind. Like we didn't mind the Vision shorts. So I don't see why this would be any different.
Yeah, no, like Visions was cool too. Like I don't have any problem with those. It's just again, when I know it's so short and you know it's all dropping at once, it's like, yeah, I'm hyped for it, but I know that like it's not going to or it'll be interesting to see where it goes from there in terms of how it's received and where it goes. Now, I'm really interested in seeing like this Ahsoka story and like what they do with that. That looks real interesting. I wonder what the plan is beyond these shorts though. That's where my questions go.
I would guess more shorts. You know, like
shorts.
You said it good earlier, Al, where you were like, you like where this is like filling in the gaps, you know, and that's why the Dooku stuff is the most interesting to me because we haven't seen nearly anything. Like we've seen. I love Ahsoka. I can't wait to see more of her story. That's great, but we've seen a lot of Ahsoka. Yeah. So that's on the back burner of my interest on this. I want to see the Dooku stuff. I want to see young Qui-Gon. I want to see, some more Mace. I want to see that stuff, and that has my interest a lot. I kind of am over the shorts. I don't know what I wish because
this would be cool. Not to cut you off, but this would be cool if this was something like done in the format of like a what if, where it's a 8 or 9 episode season, and in that episode, and each episode focuses on one of these stories.
Right.
Like that would be dope. Like I'd watch that all day long.
Right. Yeah, I'm wondering how long they are. I gotta imagine somewhere between 10 and
15 minutes.
Yeah, it's tough because like they have all these short series. Like they just released the Cars one not that long ago, and they had the Baymax one, and honestly, they were very short. Now there were also more of those little shorts, I guess, to make up for this. This is only 6, so maybe it'll be longer. But I don't know. I feel like when this comes out, people are going to be like, oh man, they were like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. And that's all we got of this.
I think so. I think that's going to be kind of the sentiment, especially with, like you said, the Dooku stuff and then the Anakin Ahsoka stuff, because we already know that's going to be so good. Because it sounds like they're bringing back, or that they spared no expense on the voice acting, at least just bringing back, some of the returning voice actors that did these characters. But then like young Dooku sounded like my guy from Harry Potter. What is my man? The Slytherin dude.
Snape.
I can't think of his name.
Somebody said he sounded like Snape.
Yeah, he said definitely sounds like Snape. That's who I thought it was. And I was like, that's perfect for a young Dooku.
Yeah,
can't be him.
He's dead.
Yeah, I'm about to say you can't pull the Christopher.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Is that man gone?
Okay, can we record somebody
Alan
like clip
Rickman.
this because
man, this is happening.
He's like, I am not the only one anymore.
I think I can pass the mantle on to Al now for forgetting that.
Hey
Alan
man,
Rickman,
look, I can't keep up. I can't keep up with these celebrities and when they be croaking, man.
I'm out.
I can't keep up, bro.
You are the new winner.
Hey, look, I'll take that mantle. Give me that title belt because I'm quick to call somebody still alive that's been dead for a minute.
Oh,
Didn't I just see him somewhere last week? Wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah, no more Alan Rickman, unfortunately.
Oh man. And then they got my man
yeah.
looking just like old boy from
Yeah.
Die Hard at the end. I can't help but see
Yeah.
what's his name? Simon was it no, Simon was the whichever one of them dudes it was. Whichever one of them nondescript Die Hard villains it was.
Animation
yeah,
looks
man.
it looks good though.
I don't even know that.
Animation
Yeah.
definitely does. They don't spare any expense with the animation. It be
No.
looking dope, man. Now here's my question:
Okay.
who's voicing? Who is going to voice? And now why is his name escaping me?
Who, Mace?
Mace. Yes. Who's going to voice Mace?
Yes, definitely not Samuel L. Jackson.
Are they bringing back T.K. Carson, or did they get somebody else? Because that's who he was, the dude that did it in Clone Wars. That's the guy that voiced Kratos in God of War for PlayStation, the older one.
Oh, you're talking about
he was old dude from Living Single. He played
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he was the guy from Living Single. So that's who did his voice in Clone Wars.
For the first. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that's who they're gonna bring in or if they got somebody else.
I don't know. They don't have a full casting list.
Yeah. We'll see. It really won't matter, I don't think, because I mean it's not gonna take you out of it. I'm just curious to see who they brought back. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. Anytime you give me animated Star Wars, man, I'm here for it. Especially when they're covering this era. Like I want all that.
Are you guys into Bad Batch? Because I kind of tapped out.
Yeah, I tapped out.
I don't know if I'm gonna go back.
Awesome.
But generally, like I like the animation stuff.
Oh, I like Bad Batch. I will admit it's probably the weakest of the animated Disney stuff, but I enjoyed it. I'm curious to see where they go with it. With this next season, if they don't give me something that ties or gives me a hint into what this means for the First Order and like the creation of the First Order and like bridging that gap, then I'm checking out. I'm gonna check out because it's just that's the only thing that's keeping me in this is, are you going to finally give us some kind of a through line to how we ended up with the sequel trilogy? And that's only because we know the sequel trilogy ain't going nowhere. So if you're going to have it and if it's going to exist, then at least let me know how you're going to try to make sense of that mess. And if that's what they end up doing with Omega and the Bad Batch is kind of laying the groundwork for that whole idea of Palpatine being a clone and whatnot, then I'm like, all right, cool, I'm with that. Because then it might be something.
I weak off of Maverick here talking about he's waiting for the Omega Bluey crossover. The only reason why I'm weak is everybody keeps trying to be like, I think it's you, Adam. It's you.
I am a Bluey evangelist.
Yes.
Oh man,
it's totally you.
Al, you should watch Bluey.
Right.
I'm telling you,
as I scramble to Google what exactly Bluey is.
As a dad, Bluey, I'm telling you, watch Bluey.
You tell him. I don't watch it.
I watch this show more as an adult than my kids do. This show was made for adults. Like literally, the creator said originally it was supposed to be for adults, but to get it made, he had to make it a little bit more kid friendly. But all the jokes in it are for adults.
I'm gonna have to check. I've never heard of this at all.
Oh yeah, it's a good time.
What? Okay.
I feel like we had to have a Bluey
you just like,
2-episode watch party.
At first you're gonna be like, man, this show's for kids. But I'm telling you, the more you watch it,
hey man, we can salsa no salsa. We could definitely do some salsa no salsa on Bluey. I could check it out.
Sure.
I'll send you specific episodes.
No pulse.
What pulse? No. Oh man.
Oh man.
Look, I'm gonna let y'all know. Now y'all have my daughter looking at me crazy because I walk around the house saying pause all day. Every time I say something. I made a comment to my wife and said pause, and my daughter was like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh wait, you sitting there? You ain't supposed to hear that. Never mind."
This wasn't for you.
That's all right. My 4-year-old's favorite phrase right now is "oh sh."
Oh man.
Man,
all the time.
Yep,
it's great.
Love that phase. Love that phase.
That is funny. Well, just like us here on the Bluey, because we ain't really got too much steam on that. We got the Skeleton Crew, and it's got your homie Jude Law as John Watts for the Skeleton Crew. Now I don't really know too much about this, to be honest. I know that it has been dropped and mentioned before, but I don't believe that they have too much of a synopsis on what this is. So we'll have to go by the name that, apparently
Mm-hmm.
it's a crew probably out to space somewhere or on some kind of deserted island. Trying to look at the background here. That they need some more people on the ship. Who knows? I have no idea. I know they managed to get Jude Law for it, and he's actually a good actor. And just for that, I will say that that's enough clout to get me to interested and seeing and hearing more about it. And especially if Andor is good, if they're able to actually pull off Andor with what we know about it, then it kind of gives a little hope that Skeleton Crew be on the same kind of level. What do you think? What do you think about it?
I'm thinking that if Skeleton Crew has any information out there, then it missed my radar because I knew of the project, but I know nothing about the details. Me seeing, when we saw the Jude Law stuff or when they mentioned that was like the first major detail that I knew about the show. So it's like, we'll wait. I'll wait and see what it is. It's Star Wars, so I'm obviously going to watch it. But beyond that, this is another one of those, okay, give me a little bit more before I decide how hyped I'm going to be about that.
Right.
You know what this is? This is a theme now. Everyone's got to have their Suicide Squad. So I think this is Star Wars' Suicide Squad that they're doing. Marvel kind of announced one that we're definitely going to talk about later. Yeah, I mean, and that's cool. Jude Law, man, I love Jude Law. I think he's awesome. He's a great character actor. So I have no doubt that he's going to bring it. And if he's in every episode, he just might be able to put the show on his back. So we'll see.
Well, they say that the Skeleton Crew is a story about a group of kids about 10 years old from a tiny little planet who accidentally get lost in the Star Wars galaxy. It's their story of their journey trying to find their way home. That is probably the kids that they have skewed in the back that they don't feel like letting you guys in on or letting us in on who they are, because they did not let us people who was not at the expo see. But you know what? They leak, and we gonna find them leaks. We gonna watch them leaks.
We make sure to find the leaks.
Damn right. But yeah, so that's what it's gonna be about. And I guess we'll have Jude Law probably running into them at some point, and probably hooking them up with a ship. Tell them, hey, this is what you need. I done smuggled this and smuggled that. And you got to be smugglers now if you want to try to make it back home. That's the kind of the vibe that I get looking at his costume there. And it seems like the assortment of kids, it might be about 4 of them, are going to be diverse. I don't know how diverse. It looked like one of them looks like an alien, which could be 2 of them over here on the right that are the aliens. And then you got 2 humanoid kids on the left side there. So we'll see how diverse could be more behind them. Who knows? But we'll see how that goes. It's gonna have to be enough of a cast to actually make a Skeleton Crew work. But you only need about 4 or 5 people. But I would say, by the way, the shot is that they're probably spaced out this way for a particular reason. That it is just the 4 kids and Jude Law, which hopefully somewhere in Star Wars Galaxy, somebody might see that a little weird. 1 adult, 4 children on somebody right about that. But we'll see how they like to spin it and make that work. So that's what we got to look forward to in some of that Star Wars news there. But we shall see what they're gonna do. We don't know. Never know when it comes to Disney and Star Wars. Unless of course it's that primo Mandalorian news.
Man,
you know what we're in for with that, because that trailer was fire, man.
I mean, come on, man. Like, it's just this is Mando warms my heart because I can remember like going to Celebration and all the buzz about Mando, but it was a mix of positive and negative buzz because people really didn't know what to expect with it at that point. Like, nobody really knew what we were going to get with Mando. Everybody was kind of curious, I'll say that, but it's just, I'm so like the journey that we've been on with Mando, like the proof of, because Mando was like the original proof of concept that Star Wars on the small screen can work and that you can actually still get some life out of this content. Even though I say, I hate the retread stuff, there's enough freshness with Mando for it not to feel so stale. I won't say that as much about the Boba Fett show. Like I still liked Boba, but that was like the example, a good example of kind of what I mean when I'm like, yeah, when we're going back and revisiting like eras we already know what happened, like it's real hard to extract meaningful story out of that. But they've done it with Mando. They've been able to do it with Mando to the point where now you're completely vested in that relationship between Din Djarin and Grogu. Like you just want to know where, if you don't want to know nothing else, you want to know what's going on with that. And it's like the backdrop, it seems like with season 3, is going to be kind of this resurgence or kind of restoration to a certain degree of Mandalore. And that is just like something I never thought I would get to see in live action. Or in Star Wars, period, let alone live action Star Wars. Like this season, I think, is going to be, I'm going to say it, I think it's going to be the best season of Mando we've gotten yet. Better, I think it's going to even be better than the season 2, because this show just keeps getting better in my opinion. And it's just, even a couple of the Mando episode we got in the Book of Boba, come on, like it just continues to get better. And they're raising the stakes. They're, furthering certain characters, and you get to see them coming back, like Grief Karga coming back. Now he's kind of like eating good and got his robes and stuff on, looking fresh. You got the whole thing with Mando having to go back and redeem himself because he took his helmet off. You got Bo-Katan and what that's gonna mean with her trying to, rectify all of the dissension with Mandalore and reunite the families and all of that. It's just, I cannot wait for this show, man. Like, I cannot wait. Adam, are you this hyped for Mando?
Yeah, man. Let's mainline this into me, man. That sounded so wrong. Let's try that again. Pause.
Pause.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Everything Mando, I love, and this trailer was great. It was sort of like fresh and nostalgic at the same time, and the music was great. I love every frame of it. I cannot wait until this comes out. I know it's going to be a minute.
Yes.
But I love this show. I love everything about it, and man, you're right, man. Giancarlo.
Yeah, man. Giancarlo.
Dude.
He's stepping up, and he's saying Moff Gideon's gonna be if you ain't seen him vulnerable before, you're gonna learn today. And
I need more from that character. I didn't love how it ended season 2.
Yeah.
With him.
Especially with him and you not knowing what his fate is. I agree 100% with that.
But the pass is that you knew he was coming back and you knew you were getting more. So that wasn't the end of him, so it's fine.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% right there. What about you though, homie? Like, how you feeling about Mando season 3? Because I'm always interested in your pick on or your take on Mando, because that's like, it was fresh enough for you to be able to come in and kind of understand what's going on and not need to have as much backstory or knowledge of the backstory. So I'm curious from your perspective, like how you feel about Mando.
I mean, you can't escape it. It's like I didn't even get to watch Boba Fett without having to get spoon-fed some more Mando. It's just a great, it's a great show. It's awesome. They they did it all the right things with introducing this show, period. Not the fact that it was Star Wars. Like anybody should take this form that they made and follow it, because they gave you a hook, and then the way that they hooked you was suspenseful, and the way that it even ends for this, like the first season, still left you wanting more, and then they gave you more that you wanted in the second one, but it was still just wasn't enough. And then by the time you got to the end of that, they went completely over the top, and to the point where it was sauce all over Boba Fett. Couldn't even get away from that. So now here we are having to deal with the things that we've seen, like him taking his mask off, with the sword, all that types of stuff. It's like they have been able to throw in hook after hook after hook, and it's just a good way that they've done the show. And why I'm losing my words right now, but you know what I'm saying, like the way that they formed the show, period, right now. Like I have like Harley Quinn, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, we're going to season 4. I'm a little worried about it. No, it's like with this show is the complete different complete opposite of this. Right
You
now.
know what, too? There's some beautiful shots in this. That one where
Yes.
the ship was flying and the clouds parted and you saw that city. That was incredible shot. Like I hope they stepped up the game. It looks like they stepped up the game here with the special effects, and it's paying off.
So that's a question I have for both of y'all is how much, if any, do you think this show strays away from the volume?
I don't think it strays away. I think the volume's getting better.
Right.
Especially look at what HBO is doing with House of the Dragon, like, and using the volume. And most people didn't even realize that they were using the volume in a lot of those shots. I think we saw early volume stuff, and I'm hoping that this is just a progression of the volume.
Got you.
But I don't know. I don't know how much.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Adam. What he's saying is just I see they've slowly progressed. They have figured out things that was working that isn't working, things that they could do better. Like even the ship, like we were all devastated. He lost his ship, but now he's got a brand new ship that's actually more fitting for the character. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's not too much of a bounty hunter like he is now. Now he's a man that is set on figuring out who he is and where he's going to be for his future. You know what I'm saying? Setting his stake in the Mandalorian culture in the first place. And I think now we're actually finally starting to get to where the name of the show makes sense. You know, because before it was the Mandalorian and we got all these Jedis and aliens and all the types of stuff that had really nothing to do. So it was more personified through the character. But now we're getting to go to Mandalore and actually get through the Mandalorian lore. So if they finally found a way to make their character mean more than just himself. And now the title kind of has more to it. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just not the Mandalorian Din Djarin. It's the Mandalorian Din Djarin, his people, the lore of the story, you know? So I like where they're going. I think, like Adam said, the volume is just actually increased, and it's not in a bad way. It's like, hey, we started off with this saucepan, and now this sauce is taking off. We need a bigger pan. We need a bigger pot. And now we're pouring all that sauce into a bigger pot. And now it's shit. Hey, it's not enough. We gotta make more sauce. So now we got
still limitations, you know. There's still nothing that beats sometimes in certain scenarios being somewhere on location, you know. But that's modern filmmaking, modern television making. Like it's either you get on board with it and hope that the tech gets better, or you just might find disappointment in a lot, because a lot of stuff, especially these genres, these sci-fi, these fantasy, that need all these creative special effects type things to happen, where it's cheaper than practical. That's just how the world is.
Yeah. Well, and at least when it comes to these big companies who can afford it.
Right. True.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm certainly not anti the volume. Like I see it, for what they're able to do, it's incredible. Like what they've done with the volume so far is incredible. I just keep going back to what I saw from Kenobi, and with all of the experience that they had under their belt, I felt like there were some scenes in Kenobi that probably shouldn't have looked as compact as they looked. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's kind of like, to your point, Adam, something that they'll continue to work on as they continue to perfect that technology. So definitely not saying they do away with it. And I'm totally cool with the idea. Like if they were to come out and say Mando is going to be 80% volume going forward, and that's just that, it's not going to make me be like, I ain't watching this anymore, because it doesn't take you out of the show. It's just because there are certain parts of Star Wars where, like that backdrop or the landscape is just such a part of bringing you into that story. Like as long as you're able to capture that with the volume and you continue to improve that experience, then I'm cool with that. Right. I just would like to see that diversity put on display a little bit more. And so if that turns into them just being able to better perfect that technology, that's cool, because I'm cool with that being the way that they introduce a little more diversity from a visual standpoint. It doesn't have to be on location necessarily, but if we've maxed out or if they're looking at it like they've tapped out the potential with the volume, then maybe so. But no, I think to your point, just continuing to use it, continuing to perfect it, continuing to find better ways to incorporate certain shots will do it just fine. I don't even think that would hurt this season of Mando though, because it's just this show's just got so much going for it, man. Like it's crazy how invested you get, or you've been able to get into like multiple characters in this show. That was something I never expected, was to be this invested in characters. I mean, well, for one thing, there's characters that have shown up that we never expected to see live action. Like it was almost like a fanboy dream. And now you've got those characters. You've got characters that didn't exist prior to Mando that you are super interested in, and beyond just Grogu for that matter. Like I love some Grief Karga. Pause. Grief go hard though. Like Grief go hard. Like Carl Weathers is like made for that role, man. And I just love seeing him on screen. I like the way he interacts with Din Djarin. Like him and Pedro have like this chemistry on screen that just works. And I just want to see more of that, especially like when he interacts with Grogu. Just that idea, it kind of reminds me of my pops in a way, and watching like how my pops would deal with like infants as an older dude or what have you. And it's cute, man. It all works. And I did say pause, Kavai, damn it. I said
it. That's funny. Hilarious. No, I mean, you're gonna have to expect more CGI when it comes to these types of stories. Like this is what it is. It's either you're in a desert or you're in some kind of made up jungle. I think the desert one's kind of easy to do, but at the same time it's not, because then you have to think about if you do it on location, certain actors are prissy in the heat and all that types of stuff, and then you got to supply them whatever it is they need to get them out there. Here, you could just do whatever it is with the CGI and the screening that they do and keep it cool. And ain't nobody complaining. They got to be inside. Then you got COVID stuff that they got to do now. There's just so much that you have to keep in consideration to be in compliance nowadays. Right. It's damn near just easier to be like, hey, let's just shoot this right here. We're just going to do this way and then call it a day. You know what I'm saying? We ain't buying you no plane ticket. You're not going to Paris to shoot at the Eiffel this year. We're going to build this out of paper mache. And then this platform here is only metal things, so don't touch nothing the fuck else, okay? Because we're DC, we can't afford it. Let me stop. But yeah, it's kind of expected, but it's not, like I said, it's not done in a bad way, at least. So we got that to look forward to.
Yeah, for sure.
That was pretty much the extent of the Star Wars panel. Mm-hmm. And then we got into some of that Marvel.
Oh yeah.
And I believe, first off, we had some of that Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
They had shown some things again at the expo. If you were lucky enough to go, then only I can say is you and you lucky sons of. I'm gonna wait for them leaks, but apparently they included a lot of action, some new scenes in there, and they're even doing some reshoots. And they said Coogler's still editing, but they showed the homie Namor fighting M'Baku, and I'm hearing it didn't go too good for M'Baku. They got to kind of show.
You already know he gonna take Namor the L over
flexing.
there.
Yeah. They showed Namor flexing on him, and they kind of give you the power level of what you're dealing with there when it comes to him. So, they're still doing the reshoots. They put it back on the cutting room floor. So I'm wondering what it is they are reshooting. So that therein lies the question here, fellas. What do you think they are reshooting and cutting and sending it back to the cutting room floor for? Do you think it's any of this controversy? Or do you think it's just normal about this time for them to do reshoots? It's just some things that they wanted to perfect. What do you think, Adam? Go with you, man.
Reshoots? I don't think, are they doing reshoots right now?
There was a report just recently that they are doing some reshoots.
They had. Yeah. Well, my guess would be just pick up stuff at this point. We're 2 months out. It's probably small stuff, I would imagine. They're probably, it could be like they had a shot, they didn't like this angle, maybe it works better here. Like I can't imagine there's story stuff happening this late in the game.
Right, that's what I was
That would be
thinking,
insane.
too.
They would push the movie back at that point.
Right, that's what I was thinking as well. What do you think, homie?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be, if they're doing reshoots, I don't think it's anything that alters the plot of the movie dramatically at all. It's more like Adam said, pick up stuff, or maybe they wanted to get a better look at a particular scene or flesh something out. Maybe they just didn't like, when they were getting into the editing process, the way a certain scene came across. I think it's little stuff like that. I don't think it would be anything too major. So I think it's still in good shape.
Good deal. Yeah, I kind of agree. Like I don't think they're gonna go back and can do complete reshoots. Maybe that jump didn't look too real, or maybe the CGI didn't come across with the way the actor moved his hand in that way. I think it's more or less.
I mean,
on
this
that
late,
scale. Yeah,
2 months out. I will highly doubt there's anything that has to do with any action.
right.
It would probably be dialogue. My
Right.
guess.
Yeah,
adding
they
a
probably
line
didn't get the
here,
yeah.
changing something.
Maybe the voice didn't. They didn't get the voice recording after to sync up just right with how he said it on camera. Yeah, I don't think it's nothing too major, but they're still editing it. They got till about November before
Yeah,
we
they probably
get
got
to,
about a
see
month
that.
left before they have to start locking it in and sending it out.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So, but the homie Winston Duke says that he describes Wakanda as a very different place following Avengers Endgame, with better evolved tech. And I've seen some other things saying that that you pretty much get to see people get the idea or see that T'Challa is dead, that their leader's down, and they kind of want that vibranium. So they're thinking it's going to be cool for them to move in on the Wakandans and take their belongings. Your king's dead, and they say you get to see the Dora Milaje flexing. Like, nah, we are not just our king. We are a nation. We are a country, and they flex right back. And I guess that kind of makes the move for Namor to come in for whatever for his part of the story, and then actually pose a challenge more than the world trying to come in and take over things. He's like, yeah, these men tried, but here I am. You have no king, and I'm not Joe King with you. So it's gonna be kind of cool seeing what he means by the better evolved tech. Maybe better evolved graphics, because this is actually a movie, so we get to see the difference in between a show like She-Hulk and an actual movie where they put more than 150 million into it, which possible. We shall see. There's been some upgrades. Huh?
Oh no, I was just saying, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. We shall see. Then we had the Ironheart announcement there. So there was Ryan Coogler is executive producing that as well. And they changed the logo up just a little bit. They showed a little teaser on D23. And they expanded a little more on the hood, on Anthony Ramos's character. And I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me. Maybe because I don't really know too much about the character himself. Got nothing to do with Anthony Ramos. But it's like the hood. The hood. That's like the best you could come up with for even just a villain name, is just the hood. Like, I don't know. Where like, am I tripping? Is it just me? Like, does anybody know more about the hood than I do? I mean, I grew up in the hood, but apparently this is not the same. Pause.
Well, maybe it's maybe they're trying to be a little meta with it.
You think?
Mm-hmm. I doubt it, but I'm just saying.
But think about it.
Maybe
Though,
Riri versus the hood. I mean,
right? You know what I'm saying? It's like Ironheart. It comes out of Wakanda. The Black Posed show, and the Black Panther Ironheart going up against the hood. I mean,
I don't know.
And
maybe it'll answer that. Maybe it'll answer that eternal question of whether or not you can take the hood out of Riri.
You can take Riri out the hood, but you can't take
the hood out of Riri.
No,
who knows, man? Like, seriously though, like, who really knows? Like, I agree with you though. This this character seems kind of generic.
Very.
But to be honest, the concept of this show to me seems generic. Like I get the idea of Ironheart and bringing in Riri Williams and all that. I get that, but I feel like it's going to be another She-Hulk, and I don't mean that from the respect of the content or anything like that. What I'm talking about is the actual significance of that character as it relates to the MCU in general. Like right now, from what we've gotten from She-Hulk, she does not seem to be a very integral part of the MCU and what's going on a larger scale. Like she exists and she's doing some things, she's involved in some stuff, but we don't really know yet her significance. And I think that's going to be the same thing with Ironheart. It's going to be a dope show, but is this somebody that they're trying to position for a central role in any of these upcoming movies? I doubt it. Like, I don't think so. So it's like, yeah, it'll be cool, but dark chaos.
Just seeing that, it's like he's not wrong.
No, not at all.
At the same time, he's not wrong. But yes, Ironheart is going to explore the battle between magic and tech. So we get to kind of see the definition of the power levels a bit in this show. So if you look at it from that perspective. But I did go back a little bit. I did find it funny that so you got Black Panther, and essentially the villain is Hispanic, Latinx. And now you got Ironheart spinning out of Black Panther. And again, the villain is Hispanic, Latinx. So it's like, that coincidence? Are we trying to make something happen here?
Like, I told you when they first started talking about Black Panther Wakanda Forever, we had this debate. And I told you that something told me that there was some levels to this whole Namor and them switching the origin. And when you look at the first Black Panther movie and some of the subtext that was there between Killmonger and T'Challa, you ain't finna tell me that they're not gonna at least like play around with some of that in this sequel. And to your point, if you don't think that they're gonna highlight some of that whole relationship dynamic and some of the like potential pitfalls there within, bruh, then we ain't been watching the same content the last couple years. They definitely will touch on it. Now, will it take away from the movie? Will it be like totally preachy or anything like that? I doubt it. I think it'll be at the same level that we've gotten out of everything else, and people will completely overreact to it and freak out when they shouldn't. But come on, man, we know it's gonna be there. It's too obvious. It's way too obvious.
I have to agree. What do you think, Adam? Oh, sitting over all quiet. I ain't forget about you, man.
I don't know about this show, man.
Tell him, Adam. Tell him.
It's good. I think all of these Marvel shows are like I remember when I read the Civil War run in the comics, and like you could read a ton of like ancillary stuff that were like kind of part of the story, but if you never read them, you could still know the whole story. That's what I feel like these Marvel Disney Plus shows are. So I think I like the people in it. Well, I like Anthony Ramos. We haven't seen Riri yet, so we got to wait and see, but I'm sure it's going to be fine. I'm sure it'll be cool. Look, if you're going to go between here's my only thing. If it's a battle between tech and magic, I need you to step up the budget a little bit. Facts. Because there's no way we're going to be able to do both of those things unless you do that, or the budget's the same, so that battle is going to be in like the last episode. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? So I don't know.
WandaVision.
I'm on the fence, but I reserve judgment. It's way too early.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. Like, anybody writing this show off or saying this show is gonna be the best ever, right now, you smoking something strong, and you need to be sharing. But I'm saying, like, it's what when I look at these Marvel shows, there's not one that I can think of, not even low-key yet, where I'm like, okay, now that I've seen this makes all of this other stuff make so much more sense. Like, it's just not there. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. But I think where some of the shows suffer from that is because there is this inherent expectation, I think, with all of us to at least get some kind of a connective tissue to the larger MCU. And for the shows that don't have that, or the shows that don't lean to that into that as much, at least for my taste, it's like those are the shows that just happen to be the ones that I'm not really that into. Like I felt like that about WandaVision. I felt like that about Captain America and Winter Soldier. I loved Loki because I think Loki was the one that had probably the most implication. Hawkeye was just dope, I think, top to bottom, period. Like I just fell in love with Kate Bishop and that whole story. So I had no problems with that. And She-Hulk is She-Hulk. Like I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's a decent show. It's just not anything that I'm like, oh, I have to watch this so that I know what's going on. And that's cool if those shows aren't going to be that. I just think that if that's the case, then you got to make sure that those shows are hitting on all cylinders in order for people to really embrace them. And I think they've gotten some of that right in these shows, and some of it they've missed a little bit. But to Adam's point, with Ironheart, you really gonna have to nail that like science and magic portion of it if that's gonna be a heavy focus, because that's really all that show is gonna lean on.
I think for both Marvel and Star Wars, we're from the looks of things, like the Secret Invasion trailer that we'll talk about later, and like the look of Andor and like all this, and Mando season 3, like they look head and shoulders above what the older stuff looks like.
Yes.
And I feel like, look, really early on with Disney Plus, it was brand new, so they were like, "This is your budget. Do not go $1 over." And now that Disney Plus is now, top 3 streamers in the world, they're loosening the reins a little bit, and I think we're seeing that. And I think as we get further and further, hopefully these shows get invested in more and more. And they're playing around with length, and they're playing around with time and all this stuff and characters. So, look, if all that older stuff is the worst that we got, that we're gonna get down the road, cool. But you got to prove it to us,
right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, it didn't pop up, but the homie Vito tipped $8.
Hey,
he said, "All I want is for Adam to say, it's rigged."
It's rigged. It's rigged, mother. It's rigged.
Appreciate that, Vito, man.
Yeah, man. Totally.
Oh.
But next up, we had the Ant-Man and the Wasp. And they said that it directly links in with Kang Dynasty.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting.
I think that makes total sense that it would link into that, because this is the first, I think, time that we get to actually see Kang kind of featured beyond what we got in that last episode of Loki.
Yeah.
Like, I like the Ant-Man movies. Like, I liked both Ant-Man movies. I really had fun with both of those. But this movie, I'm sorry, it might be Ant-Man Quantumania, but this is basically like the Kang Dynasty prequel to me. I'm only here for Jonathan Majors and Kang, bro. Like, I don't care about the quantum realm. I want to see Kang, because like this dude, I feel like when it's all said and done, Kang won't just be the best villain that we've gotten to date in the MCU. He might be one of them top 10 villains, bro, of all time. That's like no cap. And I know like it sounds like I'm hyping, but Jonathan Majors in this role, man, it's the potential here, because he's going to be playing so many different variants of himself. Like that's going to give him so much freedom to have fun with this role and to like really go there with some of these characters, bro. And it's just, I could just from that little bit that we got from Loki, and then the little teaser of the trailer we got where we get to see dude and he's like, "Have I killed you before?" It's like, come on, man. Like this dude is gonna kill this role, bro. Like I can't wait. I cannot wait, man.
Yeah, Majors is gonna kill it, and I'm here for all the same reasons. I ain't got nothing else different to say. I thought it was cool that they had Jimmy Woo coming back. I think Ant-Man.
Jimmy's a dope character. I like him.
Yeah, I think Ant-Man fits his style as well.
I need this movie to be off the wall bonkers. I need Jonathan Majors.
Yes.
Like, so my biggest problem with Multiverse of Madness was that it didn't lean hard enough into the multiverses.
Right.
I wanted to see all those multiverses that he was crashing through. Like I wanted to stay in at least one or two of them and like see some crazy stuff. So I really want them to like actually go hard in whatever, you know, I want to see different versions of him and the crazy world that he's created in all of them. I really hope that they go hard on that.
Yes. 1000% that.
Yes, sir. I think that's going to be dope. And I think Quantum Mania hopefully will do that. You know, it'll give you what you're looking for. Then they announced that they had a Werewolf by Night. It was real. It was actually happening, man. And it kind of took me off. I don't know too much about Werewolf by Night, but I know there's a lot of fans out there for it. Well, you know anything about it, Adam?
I know zero about it.
You know zero.
The only thing I knew about the show was that composer Michael Giacchino. I love him. I think he's the next the big dude as far as scoring films. This is his first directing job, and it's crazy looking. It's definitely a lot of homage to the old school horror films.
Yeah, it definitely has that old school feel. I see some people losing some limbs. Got my man's slicing some people up with the nails, but I have to agree with Chillmonger on this one. Next, it wasn't really something on my radar, and when I heard about it, it didn't really excite me either. Of course, it's another Marvel thing. I'm gonna check it out. It does look good, and you know, it could surprise. It could totally surprise. I feel like if I gave a show like She-Hulk a chance, and it's actually, you know, panning out and looking decent, you know, why not Werewolf by Night? Why not?
Right.
Plus, they did a Telltale of it too. So, who knows? No, am I thinking right? No, I'm thinking about the other one. Am I?
I was going to say Telltale. You talking about Wolf Among Us?
Wolf Among Us. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, never mind.
Hey! Don't you put some respect on Wolf Among Us name? They coming out with part 2 for that, and I can't wait. If you have not played the Wolf Among Us, what you doing with your life? Man, that game is good.
I didn't realize you were such a big fan of that game.
I love that. All wolves look alike.
That may be the case, Lavis, but that still means that we should respect them individually, okay?
All right.
Whether that wolf is non-Hispanic, indigenous, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But no, I like the Wolf Among Us just because it was such, like, I didn't know what to expect going into that game. I had no idea that it was based off of these fairy tale characters or anything like that.
Right.
And that story was just incredible. Like, the way that they told that story, the way that it unfolded, to me, Wolf Among Us was better than The Last of Us. Not The Last of Us, The Walking Dead Telltale series.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, I won't say it was better than season 1. Season 1 Walking Dead is, like, to me, the standard for those Telltale games. But right behind that is that season, the first Wolf Among Us game. Like, that was incredible to me. Like, I enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it. It was a very good game, and I cannot wait for the sequel for that to drop.
I don't want to tangent, but you ever play Life is Strange or hear that?
No,
that
I've heard of it. It, but I might even have it because
too.
I think it might have been free on PlayStation Network 1 month. So I might even have that in my library and just never played it.
Yeah.
Another good one?
Yeah, it is pretty good. I watch them more. Like, I watch streamers play them on Twitch and whatnot.
Yeah.
The great stories.
Yes.
So,
that part.
Well, we'll have to check them all out. Then we got Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Next thingy there, Captain America 4. We got that. It's got a new logo.
That looks
Captain
generic
America
as
logo. It does. They didn't really add much. They just threw some Falcon wings in the background.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna go on and say it. I'm gonna go on and say it, and you know what I'm finna say. Why we finally get a black Captain America? Y'all give him this busted ass logo, man. Like, you could have just kept the shield and did, like, y'all did all this dope stuff with Steve Rogers, and then we get over here with my man Sam, and you like, yeah, just give him a star and some. No, man, y'all wrong.
It's wrong.
come on, it's kind of Top Gun-ish a little bit.
That's exactly why I hate it. Like you could not have summed that up better. And that's exactly why it makes me want to vomit. I hate Top Gun. I hate it. I've never seen it and I hate it. I don't want to see it. Don't ever want to see Iceman and Maverick. None of them. I ain't watching.
I haven't seen the first or second one. I'll be completely honest with you.
Only
I know the
Maverick
of both, but that's it.
Well, as the resident white guy here, they're pretty good. So
Did you see the sequel? You liked it?
I did.
It was dope.
Yeah, it was
okay,
cool.
so
Yeah, it was good.
was it what
No.
is it? Is it better? It's not better than the first one.
Oh no, it's definitely better than the first one. But the first one's kind of like the first one's really good. It's a little dated. It's a little like you rewatch the first one and nothing happens in that movie. Like literally nothing happens. But nothing happens in the second one either. Like it's very it's more about the people than what happens.
And I'll be honest, I'm not anti like Top Gun like that. I've just never seen the first one.
Right.
Yeah.
And no one's ever convinced me that I should watch it.
Honestly, at this point, you watching the old one is not going to get you what we got out of it watching it as a kid. So
cool.
At this point, you're not missing much.
Right.
All good.
That's what I figured. I thought it was interesting though that Tim Blake Nelson's going to return as the leader. Like, wow.
That was a shock.
Very much.
Okay.
Like it's been a long time, and I guess he's probably been very interested in returning since what? The Incredible Hulk?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
It's way back.
Yeah. So I'm surprised that they're actually making him the main villain for Captain America though, because and I get, they're pulling the Hulk to have his own little arc and introduce a couple other characters on that end, but it's like the leader. Like, what are we trying to say here? Because he won't be fighting the leader. Like, the leader's not in this form athletic.
They're trying to loop in all these old movies, like back again. Like they're trying to bring this movie back into the fold with Abomination and now this. I bet they're kicking themselves every day that they killed off Jeff Bridges. Like, how much would they love to have him here in the MCU right now?
I mean, hey, multiverse. They got the multiverse.
I mean, that's true.
That part.
Totally bring back I am 98% the original that you know of.
What you do is you get the multiverse Jeff Bridges, Obadiah Stane, right?
Yes.
Except in his universe, he's good, and now he's the mentor of Ironheart. See, I just wrote it for you.
There you go.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Fanjecture. He's here all week. Man,
you guys should do this. Mic drop.
Look, but I'll tell you the one thing that has me hyped for Captain America 4. There's only one thing that makes me hyped to see that movie. That is the return of Carl Lumbly as Isaiah Bradley, bro.
Yes, sir.
If you don't tell me he stole the show in Captain America and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that dude, I want him to have a nice hefty role in this movie. Like, I don't want it to be some little quick 5-minute cameo. Like, Carl Lumbly needs to be back and he needs to be killing it, because boy, if he didn't come with the soul of 1,000 slaves in that show. Like, my dude brought it, bro. Like, he brought it. I love that character. I love the idea of that character. I want to see a lot more with that story, man. I cannot wait. Carl Lumbly's the truth.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think he played Martin Manhunter's dad too, and Supergirl, and I thought he did great for that character. He knows how to portray when they want blackness. He knows how to put it out there.
Hey, he's been doing this since way back in the days of South Central, bro. He was Mr. You owe me 15 box cigarette. Like, that is my dude, man. Like, Carl Lumbly is the truth, bro. You ever need a black mentor? He is your guy. He's like, I didn't realize, you, fam. Say no more.
I didn't realize he was Mantis. Like, it was only aired for one season, so I really don't expect anybody to really remember. But he was an American superhero back in the day. It wasn't a bad show. It was about this African American scientist who he built a exoskeleton so he could walk again, but it kind of gave him new abilities, and he just went out and fought crime. Like, it wasn't bad. I don't think that they didn't have anything to tie it into. Like, they had all the little Marvel shows out there at the same time. and it didn't really. This isn't really one of those shows. It was like Nightman. I don't know if you guys even remember Nightman. Like they had like a string of TV shows that were about superheroes, but they didn't have any connection to Marvel, DC, or anything like that. So they didn't really pop. But they weren't bad shows. It was just they were dry. Like if people could watch Charmed for like 8 seasons, you could be able to watch these shows. Like seriously, like Charmed was no better than any of these shows, in my opinion. That's facts, Jack. What we got next? Oh yeah, so they have Danny Ramirez. He's going to return, and he's going to play the Falcon. He's going to be the new Falcon to our new Captain America. So I'm not sure if it's role reversal at all, but that's what they do. Like little baby Punisher.
Little bit.
Face guy there. Look at him. And then you got Shira Haas. She's been cast as their first Israeli superheroine, Sabra. So that's going to be interesting. I'm just kind of curious. Like they said that the leader is going to be the main villain, but it's like again, the leader is not an athletic. He's not always athletic. You know what I'm saying? Like he is. He has a good stature. And they always put him up against the Hulk, but he's always in like a machine or something when he's fighting the Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't really show him as a combatant. So I'm wondering who his team is going to be. It's not if he feels he's too smart. And people who have that kind of hubris, like violence is beneath them. You know what I'm saying? It's like I will grow this thing to go fight you because me fighting you, you're just beneath me. You know, so I'm wondering when they're going to come around and announce who his underlings are going to be. Because I don't know if you remember, but a long time ago they rumored that it was going to be Sin. Like they said it was going to be the Red Skull's daughter, essentially. And then that's what spawned some of the other rumors that the reason why Val was going around because she was possibly going to be the person that was going to be in Captain America: New World Order. They said it might be the Power Broker, but nobody really liked the fact of what they did with the Power Broker. So I feel like maybe it was originally going to be Sin and T-Rev. You know what? You might not be too far off because I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to make Madison something in the future. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the Y is where you expect it to be. You know, it's not where you think. But you know, there's a lot of different things that they could tie in with that, but they haven't announced yet. And that's where we are with that one. Then we got the Marvels. Yeah, the Marvels.
Crickets.
You mean Quantum Leap?
Pretty much. Pretty much. Like we'd be surprised if we even get Blue Marvel in here, Vito. Because it looks like they're gonna do the Marvels as one of their female-centric type of movies. So that's not to say he's not in it, but you know, since there's 3 heroes, as they keep trading places with each other every time they use their powers, and they must team up to fix their problem. So it doesn't really leave much room to introduce, you know, or give a streamlined story to other Marvels. And then we might have to wait.
I got a question. I'm looking at this picture, and maybe this is me just reading into it too much. But why did they give Brie Larson the Abraham Lincoln treatment? Like she's the only one looking in the opposite direction. And for those of y'all that don't know what I'm talking about, pull out some coins out your pocket and just look at the coins. Like just look at the coins, man. I'm just trying to figure out, was that intentional? Cause like normally, like when they do this kind of stuff, man, I'm just, you know, maybe it's a reach. I'm just curious. Somebody got jokes though. Somebody got jokes.
I don't know. Well, the first picture that I actually saw of them, Brie Larson's face was like really skewed, like she was moving and she had just looked in that direction. So it could be just timing.
Oh, okay. It could be.
Could be the timing.
But you know, if anybody gonna catch that shit, I'm gonna catch it.
All right, we own it. What do you think about the Marvels, Adam?
I'm intrigued. We saw at the end of Miss Marvel what is the start of this. So they traded places. So it's going to be interesting to see like when this happens, like in the middle of a fight. I'm sure like where was Captain Marvel when this happened? So where is Miss Marvel now, and how does this all play? I don't know. It's intriguing. We'll see. I think they said this was going to be a little bit more lighthearted. More of an action comedy. So we'll see about that.
Right. And yes, Felicity, I know that's you. Yes, fan shot first. I am waiting for them just to finally start introducing the mutants so we can get to Rogue, so we can get the hell away from Brie Larson, because man, we need somebody to come and steal these powers and just do away with this whole thing. Like, period. Just
Some wishful thinking
No.
you got there.
Man,
Hey,
why you
it's
beefing with
in the
Brie
story.
Larson, man?
Why am I beefing with Brie Larson? I think really, if you want my honesty, it's not actually Brie Larson. I don't have anything honestly against Brie Larson. I think it's just the character of Captain Marvel, and perhaps she plays it too well, because like I've seen other iterations, cartoon iterations of Captain Marvel,
Mhm.
and it's Brie Larson.
Yes.
And I just think it's a dry,
Yes.
it's just a dry character for me. It's a very dry character, and it's not much like the older version that they had of Ms. Marvel, where she was in the like they're doing with Kamala. You know what I'm saying? Like they kind of
Mhm.
moved away from that and then found a way to make it more diverse and blah 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 blah. But like I don't know, just Captain Marvel for me is just a very dry personality character, and I just don't care for it.
Well, I think that's why
So-
they're making this more of an action comedy.
Right.
I think this is like the social rehab movie, you know, because originally it was, you know, rumored that it was Captain Marvel 2, right? It was just going to be a direct sequel.
Yeah.
And why not?
Right.
That movie made $1 billion. So of course you're going to make a sequel.
Right.
But I think they expanded it out. It's kind of give a little bit of support, maybe a little comedy, and try to lighten up the role a little bit. So we'll see. I mean, if audiences go and they pay their money and this hits $1 billion, then it worked. So we'll see.
Right. We
You know,
shall
the
see.
irony of that is they lighten up the role by darkening up the movie. Just saying. I'm just saying.
I mean, he has points.
Hey
He
man,
has
look,
points.
social commentary aside, bro. Like, I don't understand, other than like her social position, like why everybody is so bent on Brie Larson like that. Like, I get, like, if you want to talk about the personal stuff, that's cool, but I don't let that really get involved. Like, I try not to let that interfere with like what I enjoy from an entertainment standpoint. Now, if you are obviously on some just outlandish, egregious type ish, like I can't co-sign that. But I don't feel like it's that way. Like, I feel like Brie Larson gets the like part of it, just because, to your point, she is every bit, it seems, as dry and straightforward in a sense as her character in that movie. And to me, I'm like, it's just a character. It's fine. Like, I don't care. Like, I just remember watching was it Endgame, and even when she showed up in Endgame, people like booed in Endgame in the theater, and I'm like,
they did.
is that serious?
Even
for
in
y'all?
my
Like,
showing,
y'all hate
yes.
this lady that much that she showed up and y'all booed this chick?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
what?
Even
It
in
was
my
crazy to
showing,
me.
they did that, dude. I
They
thought
like
that was
booed her.
hilarious.
Everybody cheered when like the ship started blowing up in that final scene. Then when they realized it was her, it
Yep.
was like boo. And
Right. Show us
Oh.
Captain America with Mjolnir again. Like,
I'm
yes.
telling you, I'm just like,
I don't know.
God
She's the equivalent
dang,
to me
man.
as a 2D piece of paper. Like, he's bringing up this Nissan commercial. I just felt like I was watching a piece of paper do that commercial. Just a
Hey, I
cutout.
know exactly what
That's
you're
what I
talking about. Them
felt like.
commercials are them commercials bland as but I mean,
It's just
like,
so flat. Yes.
why are we acting like that's not the norm?
Oh man, it
Like,
is.
come on, man. Like, have we forgotten? Like, look, I get it's 2022. I get that, like, we all try to be politically as politically correct as possible. But we wasn't that long ago that we was making fun of the fact that, like, the Brie Larsons of the world just dry. It's a running joke. So it's like now everybody went from like laughing at that to being like outright appalled. It's like,
Right.
no, I cannot accept. Like, why are we forgetting to laugh, man? Like, some of this, you got to just treat this like it's comedy, man. Just let it go.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what.
Hey, I guess maybe I am a Brie Larson. Hey, look, if you want to call, if me saying find something else to hate is making me a Brie Larson shield, then maybe I'll go find my Captain Marvel shirt that I donated to Red, was it Salvation Army or whatever? Because y'all made me feel some type of way. You think I'm lying? Go back and watch some of them old Den videos. I had a Captain Marvel shirt. Y'all made me get rid of it because I was like, I guess I can't support her in public. I was tired of getting ugly looks from my Captain Marvel shirt, man.
You made a wise decision.
Apparently so. Apparently so.
All right. So then we had the Thunderbolts update. So now we have the whole squad. Got the whole squad, man. They introduced they got Florence Pugh. I don't know why they really put her in the center. To be honest,
why?
like I mean, because I guess they were trying to say she's like the captain, but from what Feige said, the homie Winter Soldier is actually the most stable out of all of them.
No, but she's the biggest star in the world right now.
Is she?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, really?
Oh yeah.
Right, to who?
Jack and back to
What else is she? Okay, so what am I missing that she's been recently?
it's not that. Well,
or is she just that? It's just
all,
her time.
She's in the movie Don't Worry, Darling, which Spitgate,
Have no idea.
Man,
that
you guys are out of the loop here.
Let me tell you.
People in chat know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Well, hey,
trust me.
I put it this way. I'm not mad. I'm not mad
loop.
at her being. I'm not mad at her being the lead. I'm not mad if she's the one getting the most shine. Thunderbolts to me is just going to be a fun movie. Like either you're going to like it or you're not. It definitely gives me Suicide Squad vibes. I know if Second Street's in here, he'll correct me again that they're nothing like the Suicide Squad. But
right.
it's I'm not losing any sleep over this movie.
There's no way Taskmaster or Ghost, or I would even say Red Guardian. I think one of those three don't make it out alive in this movie.
Yeah, there's gonna be some people I think is gonna be deaded, dude. Like done.
And I think that's why
out
Ghost and
clean
Taskmaster
somehow,
in
or
here.
yeah, because this isn't really the close to original cast. Like lineup for Thunderbolts. Like I think that's why they're going with trying to release a person like Abomination and She-Hulk, and like doing all that types of stuff because Abomination is one of the originals on that panel there, so he could easily replace somebody like Red Guardian, which we're surprised we're even seeing him again. But it makes sense if you're gonna have a character like Yelena on there. Ghost, they kind of threw her to the wayside, so they finally need to bring her back, give her something to do. Taskmaster was a disappointment. Sorry, it's got nothing to do with it being a female. It's just the storyline behind that.
Oh yeah, they totally
messed
Taskmaster.
that up.
I hated
the way
they did Taskmaster.
To if you think about it, because Winter Soldier was where they should have actually introduced a character like Taskmaster. To be honest, because of the whole coup, because of the whole thing of how things pop down with Shield, Taskmaster is that dude, not Winter Soldier. But the way that they had to play it for whatever reason is why they did that. And Taskmaster, as even though he is known enough, he's not a huge name. You know what I'm saying? And so I felt that maybe they figured, well, I guess because they couldn't do the whole original Shield storyline and add all of that with Maria Hill and all that types of stuff, that they would just completely redo the character for the MCU. And now that's why it's even female, to be like, don't even think Anthony Masters at all when you think Taskmaster. Just think of Taskmaster as this is what that character skill set is, and that's it. Different backstory, all types of stuff. So again, they had to give him something to do. And then I'm guessing that's your girl V, Julia Dreyfus, back there in the background on the far left next to Ghost. And that is the crew. But I agree that some of them ain't gonna make it out alive. I think if you want my opinion, Captain America or US agent, is gonna be one. Of course, Yelena, of course, Sebastian Stan's character, Winter Soldier. Yeah. Red Guardian and Ghost and Taskmaster. At least 2 out of the 3 of them gotta go. And I vote Red Guardian and Taskmaster. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Red Guardian is probably going to definitely be on the list. I would say Ghost before Taskmaster, though. Because I feel like if there was anybody less relevant than Taskmaster, it would have been Ghost. Like, nobody even knows who Ghost. Like, you have to remind people,
right?
What movie was Ghost in? Oh, like it wasn't even a real villain in your own movie. Like, it's just that I would go Red Guardian and Ghost. There's still a lot you can do with Taskmaster, whether you like. Because I agree with you. I don't like the way that the choice they made with the character, but you can still get a little bit more shelf life out of a Taskmaster. Same thing with U.S. Agent. Same thing, of course, with Winter Soldier. I can totally get the idea of Yelena being kind of front and center with that. Red Guardian, he would go in my opinion, strictly to strengthen Yelena's character and to give her a little bit more depth. And then Ghost is just that like irrelevant character that like, oh, yeah, you're here because we had to figure out a way to kind of give you a ceremonial kind of send off. So here you go. But other than that, like, yeah.
Right. Again, there's no mention of Zemo. There's no mention of
that's actually
just getting to Abomination. Yeah. So it's like there's people that they could totally replace this with. And I think the reason why I don't get like strict Suicide Squad vibes is because there are other teammates that they can throw in there to rotate it out to make it last for
like
however long.
The second Suicide Squad movie, and when Deadshot didn't come back,
right? Pretty much.
So you telling me it's basically the same formula? Okay, cool.
Same formula, but I think it's because they're probably going to try to they're testing this out. If this is actually successful with the way they want it, there's a couple other groups that they could bring in, or other factions, should I say, that they could bring in, that they could start trying to give the X-Men a world. And I think that's really what it is, because you got the X-Men, of course, they're expected to go against the Avengers when they start getting solid because of comic lore. But there's nothing to say that the MCU just can't broaden that and make it to where they go against the Thunderbolts as well. They can go against the Dark Avengers if they decide to do that and bring in Norman Osborn, which I think they're going to be doing that test run when they do Spider-Man. I think if they test good, there's totally reason to say that they could cross that over into giving them a movie, figuring out how to bring Norman Osborn and making it more of an accurate Spider-Man when he returns. Because now he's actually in college. So, that's really where he kind of gets into more of the Norman Osborn stuff. They haven't introduced Harry or anything like that. And I think even though they haven't so far, it would be perfect for them to do it around college time. So there's a few different things that they could do. And I think this is more in the vein of, if we're going to have characters or factions such as the X-Men, you got to give them some things to have an opposition against it besides themselves. Yeah, and this is definitely a way to do it. So, but again, we shall see. Could be wrong. Never know. What we got? Then we got Armor Wars, and I would love to play the trailer for Secret Invasion because it did look dope and it does deserve a bit of a breakdown. But I ain't gonna lie with y'all people. It was a lot of news. We've been on here for about 2 hours so far, and there's no way that we're gonna do this all in one show. So maybe we can come back again and finish some of this off. Pause.
For sure.
But to run through it real quick, they did have the Armor Wars mentioned after it's coming out right after Secret Invasion. So once we get Secret Invasion, that should be the next show we should be expecting to see. And then sometime through there, we're going to get a Loki season 2, which Ki Hoi Kwan was casted. And did you know that he is the little boy from Temple of Doom?
Short
yes,
round.
I did not know he was Short Round.
Yep.
At all. So I thought that was pretty right. Yes, I thought that was pretty interesting. And especially when they had the Indiana Jones panel earlier that day too.
Yeah, there's a really wholesome picture of him and Harrison Ford hugging, and Harrison Ford's actually smiling.
That's what's up.
That is what's up. Yeah, and that Indiana Jones, man, I'm into seeing that for sure. Oh, excuse me. So they casted him, and he's going to be a TVA employee, but I'm pretty sure he's going to shape up to have more of a role. If it's a big deal for them to cast him. Yeah. Then they said that Echo has wrapped filming. And of course, we all expected that Vincent D'Onofrio was going to return as Kingpin, but he's going to have a bandage over his eye. So we're going to see how bad that shot was, because I don't think she shot my man's in his face. But they do say that somehow Kingpin skin and all that type of stuff is supposed to be like rock hard. Pause. So that could be why he survived. Who knows? We'll see what the story is when that decides to come out. Yes. So apparently they say Charlie Cox says he's excited to start again with Daredevil with double the amount of time. So that sounds promising because I believe I said I was going to rage out if we got a bunch of short episodes. But if he's having to double the amount of time, then that means I'm not sure what that means, to be honest. I'm not sure if it means double the amount of time to be Daredevil, meaning like to shoot it, like being more comfortable. Because I think they had a little closer time frame to actually shoot the seasons for Daredevil. So maybe I'm not, maybe that might be what he means, but he gets to actually be, I think he might actually get to be Daredevil more than he was in the Daredevil series. There were a few episodes in there where it was lacking on him actually being in the costume. So that could possibly be what he means there. But I'm definitely excited for Daredevil to come out. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Daredevil, sign me the F up. Like,
Yes.
let's go. Now, whatever he's talking about in terms of, to me, when I hear double the amount of time, I'm kind of thinking the way you were, in the sense that maybe he means from a production standpoint that it won't be
Right.
as much of a crunch for them to get the episodes done. But I'm doubling down on my opinion that I think the Daredevil series is going to be the first time we see Marvel really like roll up their sleeves in terms of their like streaming content and really get deep with the storytelling. Like where we were talking about like some of the shows now and how they're kind of negligible, and it's like, yeah, if you missed it, you really didn't miss much. I think it's going to be the polar opposite with Daredevil, and not in the sense of it connecting to the MCU the phases necessarily, but they're going to use, I think, Daredevil to solidify kind of that world that exists on streaming, like that ground level type
the
stuff.
street level
I
stuff.
think it's all that street level stuff. I think will all be centered around Daredevil and what's happening in that show. I think the She-Hulk stuff, the Spider-Man stuff, when we get that, the Punisher, when we get that, all of that Echo, all of it is going to center around Daredevil, because I think that's where they'll do the most storytelling with explaining that dynamic between he and Kingpin, and then also setting the tone for what's going on the street level in the MCU. So I think that's where we start to get some of that. Here's some like content on the level of what we got from those Netflix shows. I think it'll be Daredevil where we see that.
Good. There we go. What do you think, Adam?
I'm thinking to myself, like, what other street level characters is this world gonna be in, right? Because we got Echo, we got Daredevil, and I'm wondering if like if Kate is gonna be part of that. It's gonna be interesting to see them build this out, and I'm excited, man. 18 episodes.
Yeah.
And even Charlie Cox came out during D23 this weekend and was like, look, I just want to let everybody know it's not like all jokey, like it really is all, it would true to the character. So I think hopefully, everyone chills, and I'm looking forward to it a lot.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question, Adam. If they end up toning down the violence, will that impact your enjoyment of the show at all?
No, because for me personally, I don't have Daredevil. I really liked the show, I really did, but a lot of the ancillary shows around it, really lessened my like of all of that Netflix stuff. Yes. So I don't hold it in high regards like some people do. So no, for me it won't. It just has to be good. For me,
right.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Most definitely. Facts. Yeah. So yeah, he gets 18 episodes, which is 7 more than he got on Netflix. I think they had 13 episodes pretty regularly. I'm not sure if the first season was 10. I think it was 13 though, pretty consistently. Perhaps maybe not the last season since they were getting canceled. I have to go look at that, but I do know he's getting at least up to 7 more episodes more this season than than he did for doing the Netflix. And he could possibly also have more of the production time, but I figured that would probably be about normal. He's probably used to that. So we could mean double the amount of time because he is on screen a little bit longer. And it could possibly show the amount of effort that they're really going to try to put in to at least their star players. Maybe they consider Daredevil a star player, and that is why he is going to get that many episodes And if other things spin off well, if they keep doing well with characters like Moon Knight, if they keep doing, if Jennifer Walters, keeps knocking it out the park as She-Hulk, with She-Hulk, then maybe these other characters will start to get more than 6 to 9 episodes. They might be up there on the same level as Daredevil. But I think Daredevil out the gate deserves that because it's already been something in running, and we got we got people out there petitioning to make sure that he came back. So I think that really means something. So that's where we
No
are.
doubt.
It also helps, I think, that you can't do She-Hulk 18 episodes. You can't afford that. You can't pay for that.
No.
So
yeah, that too.
it's going to be a lot of close, gritty stuff and a lot of story, I think, in Daredevil, which is going to be great.
Most definitely. And yeah, we get to see a preliminary of him in the next She-Hulk episode that drops this week coming. So I'm excited to see how that goes and to see the costume.
No doubt.
Yeah. So then we got Kevin Feige. He had nothing to say about Fantastic Four at all. They already confirmed that Matt Shakman is going to be directing Fantastic Four. They didn't say anything about the casting, so we are still left to rumor.
So many people crying about this.
Yes.
Why? I just don't.
Because
I get it's Fantastic Four, and I get people are hyped. But when we've got so much stuff coming,
I know.
Give this some time to get together first. God.
I'm telling. So here's the thing. I don't think people realize. I don't think all 4 are signed yet.
Right.
I think they're very close, but I don't think everything's on the dotted line. Otherwise, I think maybe they would have. And I'm not saying that they rushed or they couldn't get it in time. They don't care. When it's done, it's done. There's a lot of X's and O's and T's to cross and I's to dot. So I just they can't announce it. Look, do I think Jodie Comer is the closest to being official? I do. But you can't just come out with one. You got to come out with all 4. They don't have all 4 yet. So it's
right.
Well, here's my question then. You just made me think of. Do they not have all 4 yet? Or are they waiting for a movie like Quantum Mania before they try to make that announcement?
No, because I feel like casting always leaks. Even from the major trades, things come out. We look at this Matt Shakman thing. It was reported by, I forget which trade, but one of the top 3 trades actually did confirm and report this. So these things come out. So I just don't think they're close. I think we haven't really heard a lot about Ben Grimm and a little bit more about Johnny Storm, but I think those 2 are still being worked on. And they're figuring it out.
That could be. Well, we shall see in time. We will learn.
That
So as much as I would love to get into the gaming, that equally has a lot of stuff that is popping off. You got an Assassin's Creed game coming out. They're also talking about making an Assassin's Creed series on Netflix. We already know we're getting Gotham Knights.
Can we just? I'm sorry to interrupt, Lavis. Sorry to interrupt. Can we give a slow clap to the firing of the Netflix promotions department today? Because
really?
You're dropping an Assassin's Creed series today? You're making that announcement today of all days? What are you thinking? How do you still have a job on Monday?
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now this one,
the radar.
This one snuck by me though. We getting another Mafia game? Oh, I gotta go look this up.
Yeah, you get.
I gotta go look this up. I'm here 3 or 4. 4.
Yeah.
If you haven't played 3, I
think I played 2. I haven't played 3.
Go play.
I haven't played any.
I'm gonna say it like this. Go play 3.
Okay.
Go play 3.
Because I enjoy 2.
No.
enjoy 2.
No, you're not ready. You are not ready for 3. If you haven't played 3, but you played 1 and 2, you're not ready for 3, bro.
So I didn't play 1. A friend of mine had 2.
Okay.
And it was back in the day when I was younger and everybody liked watching me play games because I was really good at it. Nowadays I suck. So it was one of those types of things. I'll go over here, I'd play, watch, and I enjoyed playing it. So yeah. Pause. But so at the same time, it was like I wasn't up on games that much back then, so I didn't even realize they made a 3. So to be honest, like them, like Mafia coming back, this is like my first time in the scope of Mafia all over again. But if it's like that, then I will look for it right now and hopefully find it on PlayStation Store.
Let me tell you about Mafia 3 real quick. It's set in the 60s. And and the main protagonist is a black man. That's all I'm gonna tell you about that game. Bro.
I am not.
When I have not played another game that had my jaw on the floor more than that game did.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it's not outrageous. It's just the content that they get into in that game is very, very like it could be, it's mildly triggering, but it's very, very deep for a video game. Like, it's like, oh, we doing this? Like, yeah, it's the clan is in it. Like the clan is in it. And it's just, it's out there. It's a great game. Probably for my money, not the best Mafia game. Like, it's still probably third best. Like, I think Mafia 2 was the best Mafia game they've made yet. One was dope. 2 was incredible. 3 was great, but 3 was, I'll say, I selfishly love 3 because just the content in 3, I really wish they would have done a lot more with the game because it's so different. It's still in the same world. It's still set up in the same kind of the same way that the rest of the Mafia games are structured, but playing it with this character in this particular world, it was just something about it that just felt different and fun and crazy. And like every 5 minutes in that game, you like, what the
Well, you might want to revisit it because I'm looking at it right now, and I got to upgrade apparently if I want to play it on the subscription. But there's a bunch of DLCs.
Oh yeah, I got it. I've done the whole thing. Yeah, the higher fast. Yeah, I've probably been through Mafia 3 times.
Pause.
Like I got that when that ain't no pause. I said Mafia 3 is a thing.
Said you
it's a thing. Yeah, I know, but it was a thing. But no,
where's the Kush? Where's Kush Meister at?
Hey, look, he's the authority on this.
The gatekeeper.
He is the gatekeeper.
He hands out percentages of blackness as well.
There you go.
Everybody.
Yes, apparently so, right?
Apparently
so.
Now T-Rev is 20%.
Speaking of blackness, totally finna derail it. I'm finna derail the show right now. It is time, gentlemen. It is time for this triumvirate to have the sequel to the Great Chicken Debate. Because I submit to you that there's a new player in this game.
Uh-oh.
And Wingstop might have something to say about their sandwich after this chicken sandwich game. I'm just gonna say Wingstop came to the game like, hey.
Really?
Hey.
Oh, okay.
Time out.
The new chicken sandwich is sold out.
Yes, you can't find, like, it's hard. Like, I tried to hit them up for one. They were like, we are out. I'm like, bro, like, I just had one the other day. I was like, yeah, we're not getting no more till Monday, bro. We stuck out.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty damn tasty for it to be a simple chicken sandwich, man.
Okay.
Pretty damn tasty.
I'll have to try it.
Yeah, ditto.
Yeah, man.
I'll have to see if they're not sold out in my stores around here. That's great.
Yeah, it's the truth, man. It's the truth. Especially if you have a favorite wing flavor.
I don't think I've ever eaten at Wingstop.
Oh man,
I mean Wingstop itself.
Too. Yeah. That's the thing is like Wingstop is like just it's a wing place. Like you're not getting anything. Like to me, wing places are made by the sauces you offer. Like the chicken's gonna be pretty much the same regardless. It's just about the sauce and how good your sauces are. And Wingstop, they all right. Like they cool. I would go there before I go to like a Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that. But that chicken sandwich though, yeah, down here in Texas, bro, like
I can see that. Yeah,
Buffalo Wild Wings is trash here. It's trash.
Okay.
Like don't nobody go to Buffalo Wild Wings for wings. You either go to Wingstop or a local place. But
you ever have the Cajun fried corn? That looks pretty good.
I have not yet. I haven't messed with the corn yet. I saw it on the menu, but haven't tried it.
Yeah, I like their fries. Their fries are dro.
Oh yeah, the fries.
I like
fries
their
are
wings.
Fire.
Yeah, so I might have to go there and get the fries.
That hot
sandwich.
honey though. Yes, sir. I've had the hot honey sandwich, and I had the hot honey, the barbecue, and the Louisiana rub. My favorite is that Louisiana, man, with some ranch dressing. Oh, you can't beat it. You can't beat it.
I like
Oh
that
man, but yeah,
spicy, anything that's close to that spicy Asian zing type stuff. I'm down with.
yeah.
That's my thing. That is my thing.
Hey.
Yeah, there's a bunch that has popped off today on
Yes.
D23, and we will most likely have to come back and do one for the games because I mean I wasn't interested in everything, but we're gonna have to talk about that Gargoyles.
I see something about they got a Gargoyles remaster,
Yes,
but didn't I also
Gargoyles
see something
remastered.
about a Captain America Black Panther game that's set during
Yes.
World War II?
All right, let's do it.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. I thought
do
we
it.
I say let's
So
just
yeah,
get into it.
they had the Gargoyles remastered, and I'm definitely interested in playing that yet again because it's fun. It's fun.
Never played the original, man. That to me is like, man.
Not me. I'm down.
That's just because Gargoyles might be a year or two past my childhood.
Yeah, Gargoyles was that show for sure.
That's what's up. I remember when Gargoyles was popping, and I was just like,
Here you go. Here,
That's
so
what's
they
up,
had a
though.
Captain America and Black Panther game set in World War II that's been announced, and
that sounds interesting as hell.
Yeah, so that kind of makes me wonder. So we already had a rumor that they were making a Black Panther game. I'm not sure. Like, are these 3 separate games? Are we having a Captain America Black Panther game? Are we having a Black Panther game? And we're having an Iron Man game? Like,
Iron Man game is definitely separate. Yeah.
Yeah, I know the Iron Man game definitely is, but it's like, are these 3 separate games? Or or is the rumor with the Black Panther?
Never trust leakers.
Right. So, I wouldn't be surprised if the Black Panther game actually turned out to be that is this with Captain America and Black Panther game. And then there's just an Iron Man game coming out. But it doesn't look bad. I mean, if they already got stills and stuff for it, that means it's been in development long enough for them to at least want to show some stuff.
Well, maybe.
Right.
Remember that the Star Wars game that the animatic that came out that looked
was that
dope?
1313, and we was like waiting for that, and it never came out.
Not that one. The most recent one. I'm sure.
Oh, I know.
Is
it Eclipse?
Yes, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But like the game wasn't even like advanced.
Yeah.
They just created that as like a hey, we might do this. So
facts.
I don't know.
Right. Oh no, they got some stills. They got Black Panther. You get to see Black Panther's costume. They're showing
what studio is making this? Do you know?
That is a good question, which hopefully maybe we can find out this late in the day.
I'm sure somebody knows. I bet Chillmonger knows.
Hope it's not EA.
Oh please no.
But wait, yeah, but EA. Boy, wait till we get to the Iron Man game.
I think both of those are being held by EA.
I'm torn on the Iron Man game.
So the game itself is coming from Amy Hennig, but I'm trying to see what studio it's under.
From Uncharted creator. Who did Uncharted?
Oh, okay. Then it might not be bad.
You say Uncharted, my ears peak up, you know?
Right.
That's Naughty Dog though. Is Naughty Dog doing this game? Hold on. I gotta get confirmation on that. Because if that's the case.
Yeah, they didn't create Uncharted, excuse me.
Yeah.
So that's actually under the Sony Interactive Entertainment umbrella.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Sony. So I guess that gives me a hell of a lot. It's not EA. If Amy Hennig is behind it and that's Sony, then I'm down.
Yeah, I can work with that. I can definitely work with that.
Yeah,
that's just the fact that it's set during World War II. That piqued my interest, just because that's an interesting time period for those characters to commingle, especially when we know that Isaiah Bradley was around during that time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Do you think it's him.
I wonder. That would be interesting if it was.
Is it
that would be
T'Challa's father or?
I don't know. I don't know if the Black Panther at that point.
I mean,
Yeah, it's not. It couldn't be. Well, it just. There's so many
right.
things.
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
Or
Like,
is
we
it
can
like the
say, no,
rumor
it's
was
not, but
like you
then-
create your own Black Panther? Like there was
Well,
a
right. So
rumor
that
of
was
that going
the
around.
thing behind that Black Panther game, the solo Black Panther game. If they're
Right.
still making that, that's and that would make sense if they're still making a solo Black Panther game, and that's EA, and then they're making this game, and that's Sony. Like if they're intermingling with different production companies, then that would make sense on how they're able to produce these games and have them come out within this, a cascading amount of time of each other.
Right.
But they're gonna have different quality. You know what I'm saying? So like a solo Black Panther game might pale in comparison to this Captain America Black Panther game because of the different production company, and it might again pale in comparison to whatever the solo Iron Man game is because I don't know if you guys ever played Captain America, the Super Soldier game that came out back a long time ago, but
No.
that game was actually pretty fun. So it pretty much lets you be Captain America during the first Avenger. So you pretty much play that storyline basically. But it was fun. Like the way they set that up was kind of like playing a Spider-Man game. That's kind of closed. It's closed world, but it was like a Spider-Man closed world game, which is still fun.
Cool.
I don't know if you guys ever played the Iron Man game that came out for PS3, but for a PS3 game, and that was one of the first games that came out for that. It was dope. Like I enjoyed the hell out of playing that game. It left another little lasting impression. So, and I think that was Sega that made that. So, like for me, that's kind of the standard that I'm looking for these games to either at least be at, because like when they made Iron Man 2, that game sucked. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if I'm taking it back to that level and saying that's a standard, then these games had better be pretty damn good, because you can go back and play those games and to a level, yeah, they're kind of basic. They didn't have too much of the expansion that we're used to nowadays. But that's my point. It's like if we could play a game with the graphics and on the level that a PS3 game was, then this had better blow it out of the damn park. And I'm actually looking for this game to be better than Panther and Iron Man, especially because it's EA.
Yeah, I don't. Anything with EA, I wait. I reserve judgment. I'm like, I'm waiting till that drop. The idea of a Sony studio, whether it's Naughty Dog or directly or Sony or whatever, handling this Black Panther Captain America joint, just because of what we've seen from the Spider-Man game, even though that was Respawn, that was still a Sony first party exclusive. Sony knows what they're doing in that respect, and they have experience. And if this is an open world game or something similar to it, they've got experience there. So it's like, just from that standpoint, I have a little bit more confidence in which of the two would be the better game. But from just a content standpoint, like, I'm all for this Captain America Black Panther mashup. Like, whatever this turns out to be, as long as it's not some weird gameplay style. Like, don't do some weird RPG type thing with it. Like, make it more straightforward. Like, I don't mind if it has RPG elements, but don't take the action out of my hands. That's all I'm saying, is don't take the action out of my hands. Like, I gotta be hands-on with either one of these characters, and however it plays out, I want to be able to experience the game in that respect. So as long as they do that, man, like, I'm gonna keep my eye on this one because I want to know a lot more about this game.
Yeah, most definitely. And hopefully they're not too far off. Like, for them to be making these announcements, I'm hoping that they come out with at least by 2024-ish. Like when Spider-Man drops, like all these games need to start cascading out. We need to get Spider-Man, we need to get the Black Panther game, the Iron Man game, this game. Like, we need to be like, damn, I ain't gonna have enough time on my hands to play all these dope Marvel games. That's what I need to happen. Because they announced a bunch of Disney games, really. Star Wars, Legos. I thought the Avatar Reckoning game was kind of interesting, but it's like, I
have zero interest in anything Avatar related.
Yeah. Like, they got that movie coming out and everything finally, and it's like, I've seen Avatar. That was
hard
Titanic all over again.
I was not a fan of Avatar when it came out. I wasn't a fan of Avatar when they tried to rehype it up after a few years. I wasn't hyped when they said they was making a sequel. the game, same thing, man. Just
Yeah.
hey, that's cool if you like it, but not me. I'm not. The blue people didn't
Well,
get it for me.
I know a bunch of the Avatar fans are gonna enjoy that when it comes out. Midnight Suns, who cares? Cyberpunk. We know about the Cyberpunks getting that expansion, Phantom Liberty.
Have you
and they
played
got-
any of that new stuff yet?
I have seen that they dropped a new pad and everything. I've not gotten around to playing it just yet.
Yeah, I haven't
you?
played since No, I have not. I actually uninstalled Cyberpunk just because I was waiting for them to like drop some DLC for it.
Right.
I'm probably gonna reinstall it to give me something to do when 2K pisses me off. Just because I'm interested to see what they've done with it since. But I keep telling you, man, like I'm leaning, I am so leaning towards getting it on PC. Like I feel like any game that I'm starting to get to a point where I feel like any game outside of a sports game that has a PC counterpart, I'd rather have it on PC because of the mod community, man. Like I'm really because I want to do another Cyberpunk playthrough. But I'm like really debating on whether or not I want to take that to PC and do it with mods, man. Because I mean, you saw what I did with Fallout, man. I'm still getting use out of that game. That was from 2015. So I mean, with Cyberpunk, that might be another solid investment, man. Instead of dropping this money on Rockstar and getting these old bogus GTA ports that don't work. You know, I have not played that I tried to play the definitive edition of GTA about a week ago, and I got through I got up to the point where I'm doing my first mission with Ryder, and we go out, and this dude is stuck in a T pose, and I can't even advance in the mission.
Oh man.
I just uninstalled it, bro. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this to myself, bro. Just uninstall this. If I want to play it, man, I'll play it on PS2. I still got that copy. I ain't doing this. Man.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's bad.
Tron Identity, I thought was kind of a not a surprise. Like it's left field, like because Tron is such a mid group of people who are into Tron.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this one gives me strong Mass Effect vibes, though. Supposed to be described as a
Is this a real game or is it a mobile game?
I think this is. I'm not sure, to be honest. Like it's described as a visual novel adventure game, and you get
that sounds mobile.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be mobile, but you know, there's a lot of games out there that are on a platform that is like, why the hell did this come out for a platform for? And but like Mass Effect, the way that this screen looks, this screenshot that you get, it's kind of like that. You know, you get a lot of dialogue that you can go through, and you play it more for the story than you do for the action.
Right.
Yeah, you get the action, you run through, you shoot, you all that stuff, blah blah blah. But it's like to progress your character and to get more in the lore and story is what that's like. So that's kind of what I'm getting from this one. But I don't know what action could you throw in there? It's like, is your character supposed to be doing races or something like that? But you're a detective program.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, it could very well be mobile, but with the fact that it was dropped with all these other platform-based games, I'm assuming that it's a platform. But yeah, it wasn't too.
I want to. Oh, go ahead, finish that.
I wasn't too into it. That's pretty much what I was gonna say.
What's up.
I want to make Ray's messing with me today.
Nah, it's all good. I want to touch on Vito's comment though about the gaming industry because I totally disagree. As much as I give new games a bunch of like, and as much as I'm tired of the reboot culture, I don't think the gaming industry is any worse off than it was, let's say 5-6 years ago. Like, it's not that the games aren't there. We're still only in like the second year of a new console generation, and so it's not like a lot. It's definitely been slower in terms of like blockbuster game titles dropping on next gen, but I think the pandemic had a lot to do with that, number one. But two, like the good games are still out there. Like me saying that I uninstalled Cyberpunk, Vito, I played Cyberpunk and beat it 4 different times. Like that's a full game. I played the game four separate playthroughs. I got plenty of enjoyment out of the game. It's just to make room for everything else that I have or that I try to play, I just moved that one out the rotation because there's only a finite amount of space on the PS5. So it's like especially when 2K is coming out at 150 gigs, bro, you need that space, man. Like you gotta have that space. But I think when you look at like, okay, you had Ghost of Tsushima, fire. That's fire. And I get that's PS4, not PS5, but that's like game in the last 5 years. That's not a reboot. Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, fire games. Nothing wrong with those whatsoever. You still get your sports stuff. You have Tom Clancy's Division, another fire game. You still got the Call of Duties dropping. And then you get these, newer games that come out that are, that take some chances and things like that. But one of the things that I think people don't stop to think about is there's going to be a lot less blockbuster like first party titles now because you got mobile now. Like now that there's mobile, because at the end of the day, this is still about making money. And so a lot of these studios realize that they can make just as much money putting out a mobile game that works on a like pay to win system or something like that than they can putting all this money into some big blockbuster title. So it's like it's pluses and minuses, but as long as there's still, the way I look at it, the gaming industry is fine for me as long as I got like 5 games in rotation at any given point in time. Like if I can literally go to 5 different games that have come out in the last couple of years and I still get enjoyment out of those, then that's it. Because how much time do you really have to play like a dozen games? Like I don't have that kind of time anymore as an adult. I play when I can, and so I'm very like I should be very specific with my taste, but I follow the victim to the hype train a lot. So I buy a lot of ish that I don't end up finishing. But it's to me, I don't see a problem with it, like the video game industry. Do you, Lavis? Do you feel like it's slacking compared to back in the day, or like the games now are trash compared to back in the day?
No, I mean, I think it's the same as it's always been, to be honest. You have to make sure that you pair the right studio with the right game. Not every studio can make a good game or can make the same caliber of a game. Like you can't go from Rocksteady Batman to EA Batman. Like they're not equipped with that. So I mean, you have to really
Right.
understand the gaming industry before kind of making certain judgments on them. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like they have to have the ability for the engine, and mobile's just easy. Mobile is like
Yeah.
a PS2 in your hand, basically, and it's always going to look great because you don't have to put that much of the graphics into it. So mobile really is where it's at in certain aspects, but you got all of us who still have to have that console feel. So
Right.
I think it's just really based on it. I can't argue with the fact we are in like year 2 of a new console, and we always expect for it to be the same amount of time, but we're supposed to increase the graphics. And there's no way that you're going to get great games with terabytes of graphics that come out like bang, 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 bang. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen as we
No
get
doubt.
better in that. So no, I mean, I just think we have to give it a little more time and enjoy what we get that's actually up on that caliber because they were prepared for it. That's just where it's at. I don't know, Adam. You play games much?
Not as much as I used to. I think that casual gamers probably think that things aren't great because casual gamers play like 3 to 4 games a year, and it's probably the big hyped one. And if it doesn't pay out, then it seems like video games are not great. But I don't know, man. I see a lot of people playing a lot of games, a lot of different types, a lot of, there's still massive games, Rocket League still holding strong.
Mhm.
What's that? What was that new one? Elder Scrolls or not Elder Scrolls?
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring,
Elden Ring was big. Multiverses is huge right now.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So,
Multiverses is growing for sure.
I don't know. I guess it just depends what type of games you're into,
Right.
Yeah, but I see where I see where Vito's going with his point. Is like you dropping 500 on a system. I want more than 5 games. Yeah, but do you really though? Like, do you really? Because when are you gonna sit down? Like, as an adult, when do you have time to play more than a handful of games at once? Like, I as an adult, I can tell you right now, I'm looking dead at my PS5 game collection right now that I have on my PS5. I've got 16 PS5 games installed right now. 16. Of those 16, how many of these have I actually beaten? 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are new games. I'm not talking about remakes. I'm not talking about like the remakes But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 16 games I've beaten. And these are games that like I've had since it installed. Like grown folks got jobs, bro. Like I ain't got time to play. I still ain't even beat what is it with my man? God of War. I still ain't even beat God of War yet. And that's not because it's not a fun game or it's not dope. I just like I've got other games that I've wanted to play more than that. And so like with like Cyberpunk, you asked me, I saw a question. He said, what were your expectations for Cyberpunk? Nothing, because I didn't even know what Cyberpunk was before the hype train. Like I didn't really pay attention to Cyberpunk until the release and when it was like terrible. And then when everybody started talking about how good they wish the game would have been or how much potential it had, and they stabilized it, that's when I was like, okay, well, let me see what all the fuss is about. And I fell in love with it. I love the game. Like Cyberpunk to me is better than GTA in my opinion in terms of 5. The actual single player portion of it.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about all the multiplayer stuff. But just from a single player story experience and gameplay experience, I have more fun with Cyberpunk than I ever did with GTA 5. And same thing with Ghost of Tsushima. Love that game. I would play games like that all day long if they kept dropping those. It's just there's so much out there now that it makes people feel like it's not a lot because the games don't get as much hype because there's so much stuff out there. And if you're not GTA or if you're not one of these major sports titles, the hype and the buzz just doesn't reach the same amount that it used to back in the day. But to me, that by no means tells me that consoles are dying or that the game industry is suffering. All you got to do is look at the kind of money that they making off of remakes. Like just the remakes alone tells you they're not going anywhere anytime soon. And to Adam's point, if you're still like hardcore into that culture, you can rattle off about 10 games that came out in the last 3 years that were like great games, not just okay, but great games. You just got to be really into that culture and be really into games like that to know, because there's just so much content out there. It's hard to keep up with it all now, man.
Yeah, it totally is. Ryan hit us with a tip, $10.
Hey, appreciate that, man.
He said, "Love watching these 3 beautiful men go in the distance tonight." Hey,
well, I don't know.
Pause.
I don't know about that beautiful. But,
there you go,
Adam.
Adam got him.
There you go.
MVP.
Adam is looking kind of crispy down there. He is accentuating.
I got the mood
aesthetics
lighting
around
here,
here.
you know. We'll see.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like button, y'all.
Yeah,
Totally.
man.
Totally. It's been a minute since we've been out. Figured we give y'all
In public.
Right. We ain't been out in public too much. Figured we give y'all a nice little show. Appreciate the homie Adam for sliding on through and
man.
sticking out.
It's
It's
been
past his
fun.
bedtime by at least an hour and
Yeah.
43 minutes.
Let the people know what you're working on, man. What you got
Yes.
popping these days, man.
I'm in the lab trying to get this damn channel off, you know. But soon the reboot of Debate 8 is coming.
The people want it.
It's so good.
Yes.
I've been leaking some stuff. People have been loving it, so soon.
Yeah, we were just in the chat the other day and somebody said, "Hey, man, hey, we missed that Debate 8." I was like, "Oh, you just wait. Just wait."
Oh yeah, it looks amazing. Actually, jelly. Wish I could do something as great as that.
Hey, man, we
Cool,
working
man.
on it. We working on
Ooh. All right. You was good until you started with the snow.
it. He's like, got to go.
They start doing that netting, whatever it is called, with the nails. I can't do that.
Oh,
with
yeah.
cats. Yeah, man. No, that's where I draw the line. Can't do it. Yes. But yes, so nice to be seen. So nice to have guests. And I'm pretty sure we
Yes.
shall return very soon.
Without question.
As I end this in my unsure of accents, whether I be Irish, Scottish, or
He
maybe
said
I'm a little bit of UK. Who knows what I am at this moment there, laddie.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Hey, man.
It's the same black minds, the same black channel, with your boy Fanjecture.
I'm so confused. Oh, but In any event, man, it's been like Adam,
Yes.
my man. It's been too real, bro. Yeah, I have a blast every time you come on with us, man. Be
Yeah.
sure to check out the edited little shorts we drop on the YouTube. I'm sure we got
Yes.
plenty of stuff to chop up out of here.
Facts.
So be looking for that. We still got new commercials on the way. We still doing turn-ups, man. I missed September, bro, but let me tell y'all, bro, it's been real out in these streets. So we getting back into all of that, man. Don't worry. Keep your eyes on that Discord, man. We got some stuff coming.
Yes. Although it may seem we are absent on the YouTube, we are very much on the Discord a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, I be in there just chilling. Sometimes it's just it ain't got to be a main event. We ain't got to be in there to be watching something. Sometimes we just in there chilling. Dude, you know, we go down our rabbit holes. You want to come in there and try to talk about something, and we want to fact check you. Best believe we're gonna pull up the Googles.
We will pull up Google in a
do
minute.
Our Googles in a moment. So
I'm still trying to find out what happened to episode 4 of Turtles. I still don't know what happened to that episode 4.
Don't know where it went, dude. Not a good copy of it anyway.
Right, just vanished up out of nowhere. Matter of fact, we lost the homie Kavai that night, man. I think the ice cream got him. The ice cream got him.
Facts.
Oh man.
But yep.
Yeah, cutest music though.
Yep. You ain't got to go home.
But you got
Hey, man, y'all show
to
y'all
get
to give me some super chats for this VC for 2K, man. I need that change. Appreciate y'all hanging with the homies. Adam, as always, it was a pleasure, my guy.
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
We gonna catch y'all on the flip, man. I might be in that Discord streaming a little 2K. Come find me.
You. I know what we need to do, but we haven't done. Not that.
Not that.
Hulk Hogan. Oh man.
What's wrong with you, man?
Yes. What's wrong with you, man?
I will find him.
One day.
The Force will be with you. Always.
You'll be slapping with the.
Do it.
That's how we do it, peoples. The main authority. And we'll catch you in the next episode, there, laddies. Forever, ever. We're coming for you.
Forever and ever.
Come on.